Hello there. So I am hoping that someone comes in. I'll go. Yeah, here comes Rod. Hello, Rod. How are you? Let's see. Hey there. Hey, Irma. How are you doing? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? I'm not seeing any responses. Just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Make sure to unmute yourself if you are trying to speak to me.
Hi, can you hear Rod?
Yes, I can hear you now, Rod. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. And yourself?
Very good. Haven't seen you in a while.
Nope. Looking forward to it.
All right. So let me see. Irma, your sound is open now. So if you were to speak, I can hear
I'm
you.
here.
Cool. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
I
So
see you.
I have it's here on the side. I have here we go. So I'm looking at the list and quite a few people are probably not going to be here until a bit later. Because they were probably in my class. Just I'm looking at the list to see if we should expect anyone else before I start. No, just about there's one more person I'm expecting here in the early portion of it, but we'll let them show up. So hi, oh hi Michelle. Can you hear me? Michelle, if you can hear me and you're trying to speak, your sound is muted. So you need to unmute yourself if you know how to do that. All right. So, hey, welcome to Mac Level 1, Summer 2. We're on the final portion of the summer. I know for most of us in real life, summer is kind of really beginning, but for us, we're getting towards the end of it. I wanted to say that we have a little bit of time later, we'll talk more about the class. Right now, I just want to help you guys catch up. I believe, Irma, you've taken a class relatively shortish while ago, so hopefully you still remember your way around.
I just wanted to kind of refresh, so that's why.
Oh yeah, no, I'm perfect. It's the great way to do it. I'm just saying, as far as Zoom is concerned, you probably have that one kind of down.
Yeah.
I guess, and you're welcome to keep asking questions. I just want to check in with Rod because you only took a little bit of a Zoom class with me, and then Michelle, who I'm not hearing yet or seeing, or if you can't speak or show your video, Michelle, then can you please write in the chat, okay, so that I can know that you are receiving me. So, and another thing I wanted to remind you, everyone, you come in, the first thing you should do is go to the chat and say, hi, I'm here. You know, just a little like attendance thing. So let me help you find that chat. And there you go. Hi, Michelle. Now I can see you. I don't know. Yeah. And your sound is on. So you should be able to speak and I should be able to hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, there you go.
Great.
All right. So
Hi.
hi. So you don't have to, by the way, have your camera on if you don't want to or need to, but when I don't hear or see, then I don't even know if you're there. So it's good to have at least your voice. And I certainly appreciate having people have their video on as long as their connection is good. It makes me feel like it's, you know, there's humans on the other side, but if it's uncomfortable or for any reason the connection is getting slow or something, should definitely not turn on the video, but at least be able to go to the chat. So everyone, Rod and Irma and Michelle, can you find your chat? Do you see it? I'm gonna say here is the chat. So I've just sent you guys a chat. So there, where you see that message pop in, that's where you need to click and then write a little hi, I'm here, hello, whatever you need to do, just so I know that you know how to use it. There you go. And I have a couple of, I have an address here that I need to pick up. Okay, so I need to copy that link and email it to myself. I'm trying to get an email, something from my other account over. So that I can get it over to this account. Oh, you'll see why in a second. Okay, so here we go. All right, so mainly my question now is for Michelle and for Rod. I see you all wrote in the chat, which is perfect. Now, most of you wrote to everybody, but for example, Michelle, you may send me something that's a direct message to just me, which is fine right now. But when it's a class question that everyone should, when I'm answering, it would be good if everyone can see the question. So when you see to write the chat, choose to everyone. Because right now you sent it to Diana Musacchio, which is me. So can you try that again? Just go and change the chat to everyone and then say again, hey, whatever, testing, it doesn't matter what you say, just make sure that there's a test there. I'm gonna turn my,
How do I get to the thing where it says chat? Where do I get the I can't find on the screen, where does it say chat?
let me write something again. And I'm gonna write the word chat again. And then it should pop up for you. And then do you
Yeah.
see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually you need to slide sideways. I'm trying to check, I don't have my phone zoom on. And it's a bit different, but I believe you slide sideways. Let me see if I can open my phone zoom to help you with that. Thing is that you need to let me connect with my phone.
Oh, I see where it is.
Okay, so I switched it to my phone, which is a bit confusing. But anyway, I had to find the chat for Michelle, and I'm not entirely sure because I don't usually do it on my phone.
Yeah, what I'm having, I'm using my phone right now until I'm able to download Zoom onto my computer. I've been working on it for quite some time and haven't succeeded yet. So
okay.
I'm still trying to do that while I'm listening to you guys and get started with the class. So,
Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to my computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Now I'm on both.
Okay, so now. Hello? Am I making an echo now? No, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I just connected through my, no, this weird echo is the sound. No, I'm just gonna. Okay, that didn't work too well for me to be on my phone and on the computer on Zoom. So I'm just gonna stop doing that because since I'm the leader, so to say here, they call it the host. it got confused and then my phone took over and then I couldn't handle this. So I'm just gonna stay on the computer. So hopefully you can listen in. Hi, everyone. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Julie. Hi, Mia. You guys popped in when I was attempting something on Zoom on my phone. And so it got a little bit strange there for a minute, but now I'm here. Hopefully you can all hear and see me. So let me turn on the chat here again. Remember that when you, I believe you've all taken one of my online classes before at some point. Sharon, how long since you've taken one of my online courses or none? Your sound is off, yeah.
Yes, about 3 years.
So, but did you take an online course with me yet on Zoom? Probably not, right? Yeah, you were in person. I thought so. I'm like, okay, because I know you, but I haven't seen you in this arena. All right, so what we do is as soon as you sign in now, the chat kind of restarted because I switched from one computer to another. So in my chat, I don't have any of your guys' greetings at this point because I had to kind of cancel and start again. So can everyone at the beginning, when you show up, go to the chat and here, I'm gonna write the word chat so that it pops up so you see where it is. Go to the chat and give me a little hello again, even if you already did it, please, because I know Rod and Irma and Michelle had already done it, but go ahead and do it again because I had to reset the class after that attempt. And let me explain why I actually attempted that, Michelle and everyone. It's because on Wednesday, and I'll tell the whole class when everyone shows up, I might need to be on my iPad for a while. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm trying to see if it's going to work to teach, and I'm not sure it will. So we need to see, because I'm going to have a power outage for the first hour and a half of the class. So anyway, so the main things I need you to know before everyone else shows up, which it will be relatively soon. It's a small class though. Today is the smallest class I've ever had. Okay, got it. But I need you to know how to use the Zoom tools before we learn to use the Mac, okay? So everyone, when I ask a general question, like how many of you guys are on a laptop and how many of you guys are on a desktop, like an iMac or something like that, I need to, you need to go to the button that says reactions. So if you go down to the reaction to the toolbar with your mouse and see the little smiley face, it's like it's an emoji, click on that. And then you'll see that there's many choices there. The top row is clapping and thumbs up and hearts, and all of those are awesome. If you laugh at something I say, go for it, use one of those. But they disappear in 3 seconds or in 2 seconds. So I might not even, I see them and they go away. So they're great. I see that you're laughing or whatever. But if you want an answer, like I'm on a Mac laptop, I'm on a Mac desktop, then I'll say, if you're on a laptop, please click on the green check mark, which is equivalent, or I might say yes. And if you're on a desktop, then click on the X, or no. Sometimes it'll be, the answer will be yes or no. Sometimes it'll be green or red, right? So right now, if you're on a laptop, please check the green yes check mark. And if you are on a desktop, like an iMac or a Mac Mini, click the red no. All right. And then Rod, I'm seeing your question. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right. So let me keep letting people in. So hi, Yolanda. Nice to see you. I also, in order to see yourself, Rod, you need to turn on your video. So on the bottom screen,
Got
when
it.
you have all these tools, just click on the video.
Got
There
it.
you
All
go.
right.
Hi. All right.
Thank
So
you.
everyone else, okay. And Sharon, I believe you had turned on red or green, but it's off now. So you must have clicked on it again, which turns it off. There you go. So when you click on those buttons on, then if you click on them again, they just turn off, right? So you have to do it a third time and you go, but I already did it. Well, you turn it on and off. It's like an on and off kind of button, okay? All right, now, I know that Michelle, you're on your phone right now, but the computer that you said you're trying to put Zoom on, is that a laptop or a or or a desktop, like a laptop or an iMac or something like that. You know what, Michelle, since your video keeps breaking up, and it's really nice to be able to see you, but I probably recommend that you turn your video off and you listen in, because it looks like the connection is going to be breaking up always for you otherwise. And I don't even know if you can hear me right now because you're frozen. So if anyone starts having low connection, or you get a message saying I think it says your internet connection is slow, or I don't know exactly, or you're having a bad internet connection, I don't remember the exact wording, then you should definitely turn your video off. Now, it would seem that she ended up getting dropped. See, she disappeared because her connection disconnected. So yeah, if you're having issues with connection, definitely turning your video off really helps. Hi, Barbara. Okay. So for anyone who just showed up, please go to the chat and give me a little hello. I was wanting to know who was on a laptop and who is on a desktop. And so I'm still waiting for everyone to slowly do that. So Sarah, keep yours on, keep your green on. As people keep showing up, I kind of want to have that choice set up. Another thing is when you go to those reactions, hi, Paul, the bottommost choice is a long bar, and it's a little hand that says raise hand. Okay, so now go ahead, everyone, and raise your hand just to test that one out. Michelle, hi again. So what I was saying, Michelle, is that it's probably better for you to turn your video off, not like so that, because you seem to be freezing, which is usually has to do with a slower connection with it, which on a phone is typical. So just you should probably try to mute your camera, stop video. You'll find a little button somewhere to stop video, and then keep listening in, because I know you're trying to get your computer set up with Zoom. So meanwhile, that'll help you not use up all your, yeah, there, it had turned off and now it's on again. Now, the sound, on the other hand, you should keep on, so that if you want to talk to me, because when your video is off and your sound is off, then it's really hard to communicate, right? So if you can unmute yourself to when you need to talk, that's good. So do you find the reactions button on your phone, Michelle, to be able to answer green or red to whether you're on a laptop or on a computer?
Yes.
Okay, so green for laptop or red for iMac, or some people have a Mac Mini. Rod, do you have a Mac Mini right now? Or
No,
do you have
my Mac.
I'm having my Mac. I know someone had a Mac Mini and I can't tell who it is. Barbara, would it be you? Do you have a Mac Mini? You have a Mac Mini. So can you click on the reactions?
I don't have it in here.
Oh, no, okay, but you have. So whatever you're using for the class, give me a red for laptop, green for laptop or red for Mac Mini. And then the rest of you are practicing raising your hand, so that's great. Now, what works with your hand is that it stays up until I get to your question, right? So when you raise your hand appears in order of who raised it first. So like Julie raised it first. So she goes to the top left of my screen. Then Sharon, so she goes to the top left of my screen. So when I look at the screen to ask questions, I'll start answering in a row. And then when I'm done, say that Julie's done, I'll go ahead and lower her hand, or you can lower your hand and see how she pops down. I don't know if that happens to you too. Do you guys see the people change around when people raise their hands? All right, so then now Sharon, say I answered her, she lowered her hand. So everyone go ahead and lower your own hands. Now, if you forget to lower your hands, I'll lower them for you. But if I lower them and you lower them, what ends up happening is that you basically raise it again because I had lowered it. So for the most part, if you remember to lower it, that's great. If I see your question, like you just asked a question, I just answered, and a few minutes later I look and your hand is still up, I'll probably assume it's the same question. I'll ask you, is that the same question? And you'll go, oh, I just forgot. Or, oh, no, I have a new question, which is fine either way. All right. So that's showing you how the reactions work. And we're going to use that a lot. So if I'm in the middle of teaching you something and you have a question about exactly that, sometimes, piping up like you would in class and saying, excuse me, that works. But sometimes you think of a question that you just want to remember. You could also write it in the chat where I kind of see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm not always on top of it looking at the chat, but now and then I'll stop and I'll say, okay, let me see if there's any questions on the chat. Or you can just raise your hand. And when I'm done, with that thing, I'll answer, or I'll ask, is everyone okay? Do I need to move forward? Now, my request is don't hesitate to raise your hand or to ask your question in the chat the moment your question comes up. Now, if it's an urgent question, you put it in the chat and I'm not answering, it's because I don't go to the chat all the time. So it's like something's not working and I'm moving on, then just interrupt me, and say, oh, well, I can't do that because for the most part, I'll be checking the chat. But if someone knows this is a question that kind of hangs there in the chat that I haven't answered, since you can all see the chat, let me know, hey, there's a question. Mimi has a question or something like that, right? Because otherwise I won't always see it, but I do see raised hands. Okay, so that's for like my part with communicating with you guys. Now, when something isn't working, when something isn't working for you, or I explained it, but you have more questions, or it looks really different from you than what I am showing. Like for you, it looks one way and I'm showing you it a different way. It's a really good point to stop me in that moment and to say, well, that's not how it's working for me. Because then what you can do, if we can't figure it out just by explaining, then you have to share your screen. A lot of people get worried about the sharing your screen part because they think, oh, sharing your screen takes so long. But in fact, sharing your screen for people, once you know how to do it, it takes 3 seconds. I look at your screen, I go, oh, that's what you're asking, da, 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 boom, and we move on. So it's much easier than trying to explain what's happening, is to show me what's happening. So most of you guys have shared your screen here before. Since Sharon hasn't been in one of our Zoom classes before, let me ask you, Sharon, have you shared your screen before?
No.
All right, so let's try that one out with you. Just about everyone else here has, and if you forgot how to do it, please ask me. Because the first time you share your screen, there might be some permissions you need to unblock. After that, it's all fine. So the first thing you need to do is go to the bottom series of buttons. And do you see a big green share screen button?
Yes.
Okay, it's 2 steps. That won't be enough, but let's start by clicking on that share screen button. Once you do that, you have a white screen, and the top left probably it says desktop, and that's a good choice. And then on the bottom right of that white screen, you see another little blue share button, the blue letters. Do you see that one?
Yes.
Okay, so click on that one. Once you click on that one, oh, Julie, you shared, and I'm trying to get Sharon to share. So I'm going to stop your share. Okay, so Sharon, you can only share one at a time. And since Julie shared, can you try that again? Once you click the second share button, are you getting a message about system preferences?
I did. Now I have security and privacy.
Good, perfect. Okay,
Oh.
so that's where you need to be.
Oh,
Uh,
I just went out. Let's try
you
it again.
closed it. Oh, that's okay. So just share again.
Open.
Okay, so
Okay.
once you get there, okay. Now, when you're in security and privacy, first thing you need to do, bottom left, there's a little lock. You need to click on that lock and put in your computer password, the one that you use to start the computer in the morning. Well, whenever you open it up.
Oh, my nerves.
All right. So everyone else here, who, if you need to remember how to share a screen, please let me know. Other than that, I'm just checking in with Sharon because she hasn't done this before. All right.
So I put in what, my Apple password?
No, just whatever you use when you open your computer.
It always just opens. I don't put in.
Oh, you don't have it locked.
No.
So when you clicked on the lock, it's asking you for admin password. Well, yeah, if you don't have it locked, then you might have to try a couple of your regular passwords to see, or yeah. I highly recommend locking your computer with
There's
a
nobody
password.
here but me.
Ah, there you go. Who's that? Michelle, perfect. Everything on screen. Okay, so you are sharing your phone with me,
Okay,
right? Are you on your phone then?
right. Yeah, I haven't gotten on my computer on Zoom yet.
Oh, Michelle. Michelle's sharing. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
So
gotcha.
what happened to mine?
Stop. I stopped your sharing. Thank you, Michelle. You can only
Okay.
share one at a time. So now,
Oh.
Michelle, you followed the instructions to share and you shared, which is good. Fine. We're going to stop there. Now let's try again with Sharon. Did you get your password?
I got one in there and I thought it went through, but
Okay. If it goes through, you'll see that the lock has become unlocked. Did it work?
No, so
Okay.
now I'm back to just your screen. Chat.
So your lock needs to
Yeah.
like open up.
Share. Open.
So perfect. So Michelle, you're able to share.
It only goes to open system preferences and then it just hops back to you.
Well, when you say open system preference, you need to say yes, open, right? So that you get to
Yeah.
the chance to unlock it.
But now it doesn't go to anything, but it hops back to you.
Yeah, probably because you've done it a few times. But so go, do you know how to open system preferences on your own? Like go to the dock and you have it there, or go into the Finder and go up to the little Apple icon and say system preferences. So if you go to the Apple icon, 2 down is the system preferences.
Okay, I'm
I mean, this is the first time you connect is the only time that it's complicated. After that, after we jump these hoops. So tell me where you are so that I can know how to support you.
putting in,
A password again?
yeah, I put in 2 and they don't work.
Hmm.
My Apple ID doesn't work and my iCloud doesn't work.
Yeah.
Should I try type something?
Is there a lock on your security and privacy? Maybe you don't even have it locked. Is there a lock
There
in the
was
bottom?
a lock and then now I'm on system preferences is trying to unlock security. It says unlock, but I need a password.
Okay, so then I guess for now, we're just gonna have to wait until you get some support. Could someone else in your family have set it up for you? Could they
There's
know?
nobody here but my kitties. They can't help.
Yeah, so I can't help you with passwords either. We're gonna be doing a lot of work in the system preferences, and it's good to know your computer's password. So you're gonna have to maybe, I don't know, we'll have to figure out how to get help. The Mac, you can call Apple. They're really good about answering and help you with that kind of stuff. I think they'll probably ask you some questions to make sure that you are you and it's your computer, and then they'll help you unlock it.
But I've been on other Zooms and I've never been asked this.
No, this is because you've never had to share your screen. Okay,
Oh, you're right.
so you're gonna have to share your screen, and your computer's like, well, you gotta make sure, they're trying to make, it's for your security. They're trying to make sure that you are giving permission to share your screen and that someone isn't trying to like steal in there somehow, right?
Okay, I've
So-
just tried 6 and nothing works, so I'll
right.
contact
Okay.
Apple.
So yeah, contact them for now. It's okay if you don't share your screen today. The thing is that you'll see when you have questions like now, if you just simply switch, I'll see. And so it's just in order for the class to go better. So for now, for today, it doesn't matter. Yeah, but work on that. So but hopefully by Wednesday, you know your computer's password. Paul, your hand is up.
Yeah, can you hear me okay, Diana?
Yes, I can
Oh,
perfectly.
Good, I don't see the little green button, the little green share button on my screen.
Okay, it's not little, it's big, and it's down where all of the tools are. So you need to have your mouse over that. Do you
No,
have
I
a,
see
do you have-
Participants chat, reaction settings and more,
and
leave meeting.
so do you have 3 dots there somewhere?
Yeah,
Click on the 3 dots and see if perchance
It says, no,
the share screen sometimes hides there.
no.
So that's new. So that might, you've always been able to share. Have you
Yeah,
changed
I have,
the?
but I went from a laptop to, I'm using a Mac Mini as well.
Okay, it might be that your Zoom, maybe when you set your Zoom up on this new computer, maybe you're asked some privacy setting when you set up Zoom, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
might
yeah.
have said no, and so it doesn't even give you the option to share
I'll do
screen.
that, yeah, after class.
Check the Zoom settings. Okay, so this is kind of good that we're talking about this, because if you guys have issues with, for example, Zoom settings and stuff like that, I don't have, oh, how funny. I have, long story, but I don't have the actual link in this account for, I need to look it up on my phone. Give me a second. So hi, by the way, Dorothy, and everyone who also showed up, please go to the chat and give me a little hello. Barbara, I see that you're telling me on a direct message something. Remember to shift that to a general message so everyone sees what it is that that you're asking or doing, so that when I answer, it kind of works. There we go, Irma. Now you're in on your other computer. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you guys the access. Give me a second. I'm trying to put a link in the chat that I want you guys to copy. Okay, so I put a link in the chat. Don't click on it, or I guess you can click on it. That's fine. But I'm gonna tell you what this link is. I'm gonna share my screen right now. Well, Irma, it's
Hold on.
probably you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me, hold on.
You need to go to the mute. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and what I'm sharing is when you click on that link that I just shared with you guys in the chat, okay, that link takes you to this page that I'm sharing right now, okay, and it's IT support for students. So technology questions related to Pipeline or Zoom, right? Things that allow you to take the class. You can't call them and say, how do I set up my computer or anything like that. They've gotten upset at me in the past because students of mine go in and ask them to fix something about their own computers. This is just about things that have to do with the class. So say that you can't access VDI, you guys aren't on VDI, you can't access your Pipeline, things like that. So someone wrote to me that, so someone's phone is ringing. I muted you. I think it was Rod. Okay. So I believe Shannon, you said your Pipeline account has to be reset or something like that. Was it you?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Okay. So I, in fact, cannot help you with that. It's so interesting. I'm going to send that piece that you wrote to me, the little paragraph of what they told you, because the only ones who can help you with that are either front office people or hopefully these people, the student IT tech support, because there's a number you need that only they have, right? So here's the thing. For the question you had before, for Zoom questions, for Paul, things that aren't working, Wi-Fi. So for example, Michelle, maybe you need to borrow a hotspot if you don't have a good connection or something like that. You can come over here, and when you get to this page, scroll down, because this is emailing them for help, which might give you some help, but then you need to know how to explain your problem, and it's a bit more complicated. You scroll down a little bit more, there's self-help, lots of how to create your login and all that kind of stuff. But then if you keep going, virtual computer lab support through Zoom. So if you click this button between the schedules of Monday to Thursday, 11:30 to 4 p.m., you'll be in a Zoom like this, and there's going to be a tech support there to say, yes, how can I help you? And then you explain the problem, show the problem. I don't remember how to find I can't find the share screen button, or how do I share my Zoom screen, or all these kind of things. You enter there and they can help you with that. Okay. Now, if it's the password of your computer, they probably can't help you with that, but meaning for any other tech support stuff. So keep this, link. Now you'll notice that in the email that I sent you inviting you to today's class, and let me head back to that for a second. I sent you, and I need to give me a sec here because I need to get into the email that I sent you. But I sent you guys, and I'm not because everyone got the email. And where's the email that I sent you? Here. So here's the email that I sent you guys. And it's like, read this long meeting, da, 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 da. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, I have online classes, Zoom tech support. So if you need equipment to take the class or stuff like that, so say a hotspot to have a better connection, contact Emma. If you need to get tech support, right, there's this phone number, fine. But the best one is if you're able to use Zoom, but need more tech support, click this link. And this takes you to that Zoom link that I just said, okay? Oh, and by the way, the schedule that I sent you is wrong. I didn't copy them. Okay, so that schedule is wrong because that's not the summer schedule. I apologize, the right summer schedule. So anyway, that's this summer, what did it say? Monday. I'm gonna copy this and put it in here so that I have it for you guys. Okay, there you go. So now I have that. So I can email it to you guys again, but just showing you that you already have this info, okay? And it's there where it's there in your email. It's just the schedule was wrong. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you with this. So I'm going to stop my share. And I have my share stuff all over the place. Here we go. Stop my share. All right. So so I think that's about it for how to use Zoom and how to get support. If you have any other questions, please let me know. But I do have actually one more thing for you, which is before we kind of jump into the actual class. Hold on, I have a link here that I need to copy. And that's gonna be a link that I'm putting a link on the chat right now again. Now this link takes you to a survey. Now some of you guys might already know how to answer that survey. Some of you still need a little bit of class to answer that survey, which we're going to do right now, okay? What it takes to answer this survey. I'm going to have you check and find out what operating system you are using. And so let me share my screen with you. What I need you to do, this is my entire big old screen. And one thing that you need to know is what operating system you're using, So if you already know that, you can start filling that survey. So for those of you who know that, click on this link that I put in the chat and start filling out the survey. But if you don't know that, then here's how you find out what your operating system is. Open up your computer, look at, I'm sharing, your computer's open. Go to the top left. Let me put a little bit of a color on the tip of my arrow so you can see it better. See how it's sliding around? Up to this arrow on Apple on the top left of this computer, and then go to About This Mac and click on About This Mac. And then you will read something. In this case, I'm going to shift to just sharing that screen. And what you'll read here is the name given to your operating system. Now, there's also a technical like 11.6 or 10.5 or 11.2, whatever that might be. But all I'm asking you is, do you have Big Sur or Monterey or whatever? So write it there. So now, Dorothy, don't answer here in the chat. Rather, click on the link in that I just put in. I'm going to put it in the chat. There's a link that I just put in there. Click on that link and it'll take you to a survey. And please answer that survey, inside of which one of the questions is, what's your operating system? And so answer this question. So now I see that Yolanda's hand is up. Yeah. Question, Yolanda?
When you said the test screen share, and I have screen shared before, and instead of my desktop showing, it showed something like, let me just click. You cannot the other. Okay, so I
Stop my
can
share.
sharing.
I-
I had like 3 choices that I have to click on. Like one is seems to be basic, and then another one I cannot recall right now because wait, I think maybe I can.
Oh, okay. At the top, it gives you basic, advanced, or files. You always want to be in basic. And
Okay,
when you're in basic, it tells you desktop or iPhone or things like that. And you want to click on
Okay.
desktop.
but that's the first time. Today is the first time I saw it. That's why.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, like if you can, the others are more for the person who is teaching, so to say, because I could share slideshows or a video or stuff like that. But in this case, yeah, especially in this class, when you need to share, it's your desktop so that I can see what's happening, right? Because I'm helping you
But
learn.
usually comes out, but today, for whatever reason, it's
Yeah.
different. So that was new to me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's always been there, but it's kind of the more, see, you're learning more and more, you're taking more and more classes, so you start seeing more of what's available. And yeah, those have always been there, but it's like, for example, if you had created a PowerPoint that you needed to share with me and put it in your Google Drive, you could open it through there to share with me with a class or something like that. But none of that is going to happen in this class. So all you need to know is the basic share your screen, your desktop. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Great question. Julie, you have a question?
Yes, when I click on this forms.gle, it bounces me back to signing into Pipeline.
Yes, because it's made for students who are City College students. It's not available to everyone. So yeah, it'll make you sign into Pipeline. Now I could, I guess, go to the form and have it be openable by any place.
But basically you wanted us just to say that we have Big Sur or Monterey.
No, it's a many questions.
Oh,
But one of the questions was whether you have Big Sur or Monterey. So let me see if I can open it up to being answerable to, yeah, I think I can make it be answerable by people from settings, manage responses, requires people to sign in. Okay, I'll turn that off. So now you can't all right, so now I've changed that. So you should be able to click again on that same link and you should be able to get in without having to sign in.
it
okay.
says fill out this form, you must be signed in. Your identity will remain.
Okay, so do a refresh on your screen, like close that button and click again. Let me see if the link has changed now that I changed that. Maybe the link has changed. I don't think so. Yeah, the link has changed. Okay, guys, looks like they gave me a new link. So forget that because I changed the form substantially to allow you to allow anyone from any place to open it up. So now the last link I sent, click on that last link that I just set up because I only have 2 responses right now. And there's, 10 of you guys. So I want to make sure you all get to that. So do you see the last link I put in the chat?
Yeah, it still says sign in to continue. So I hit sign in and it just bounces back to sign in to continue. It's in a loop.
Is that happening to anyone else? I'm only
No,
getting
it's
2
saying-
responses. Maybe it's happening to everyone. Which isn't a problem to sign into Pipeline. This is a Pipeline account form, right? But I'm trying to avoid you doing that.
What are we
Um,
signing into? I'm sorry.
Okay, so see with the word, I just wrote the word chat. Do you see that word
Okay.
chat that appeared? That word chat that appeared is the chat, okay? So what I need you to do is to look at that chat. Oh, each time I click and it gives me a little link, a new link, that's why, but it's taking you the same stuff. In that chat, I just posted a link. That's why every time I look for the link, it gives me a different one, but it goes to the same place. Okay. When you click on that link, what's happening? Are you being taken to a form that has questions? Or are you not?
The form is in the background, but there's a white box in front of it that says sign in to continue.
Okay, so I know that you're having that problem. Is anyone else having that?
Yes,
And okay,
that came up for me when I did
all
that.
right, so then let's see, as a user myself, I don't have that. So unless you guys tell me that, I don't. Now, what it's asking you to do is to sign into Pipeline. So let's sign into Pipeline. Let me show you how to do that.
Oh,
It's
no
very
problem.
simple. You just need to sign into Pipeline, but I set it up to
Mhm.
not be that way. So now, because you asked me before, it was set up to be that way. So I don't know why it's doing that,
oh
but
no,
okay.
I don't know what my. PA.
Now I have 3 responses, so that does
Two.
mean that some of you guys. Click email address.
Website from.
I did not restrict to users in City College. Maybe I'll turn off. Okay, I'll turn off the email addresses, but I need to add a question then saying, who are you? So let me,
So now that we are in there, shall we complete the questionnaire then?
That's what it is. So you can work across devices. Without
Okay.
use of, I don't know my Google password.
okay, so I changed it again. And I just wrote, what's your name at the top? Because now it's not, now I'm making it not be signed in, not collect emails or anything. So now you just need to write your name. Okay, I'm tired of changing this. I've never had an issue with that. So let's do this. Julie, how about you share your screen and I'll help you get in, because it looks like what was happening to you is happening to a few people. All right, so if you are not able to get in because it's asking you to sign in, let's go to, let's see, let's figure it out for Julie, and hopefully that'll figure it out for everyone. Okay, so now you're looking at Julie's screen, by the way. I'm telling for everyone who's new to the screen sharing.
I got it here. Sir.
I lost.
Okay, so does it go to Safari or Chrome? Where does it go? What do you use as your way to get onto the internet? Safari or Chrome?
Safari, but I've
Okay,
lost.
so
I
go
can
click
see
on
you.
Safari. It's okay, but just go to Safari. I'll help you. Click on Safari. Yep. Okay, and I guess the form did not take you to Safari. All right, so go to Zoom. And that's the part that I can't help you with. So then close Safari if if it looks like it did not take you to Safari. So close. So in the Zoom, can you click on the link again?
No, see something. What am I doing wrong?
Okay, here, let me do this. I'm going to stop your sharing.
Okay.
First, get yourself set up with that message that says that you need to sign in, and then share your screen again. All right, so I have given you guys forms before, and most people never have issues, but Julie, you do. I'm wondering if you've said always that you have an issue. So I'm wondering if that's what I'm trying to see if in your computer you have something set up that stops you from.
Am I still sharing my screen? Because it doesn't.
No,
No.
no, I stopped you so that you could find the chat, find the link,
Yeah.
try to connect, and once you get that message, leave that message up and then share your screen so that I can see the message that you're getting. Right? And by the way, I've only had 4 responses. So obviously this is not just Julie. Obviously quite a few of you guys are having problems with this. So,
Let me raise my hand.
all right.
You see it
Okay,
now?
so to fill out this form, you must be signed in. Your identity remain anonymous. Okay, so click on sign in. I mean, I'm sending you the form, so it's safe to sign in. So you click on sign in and nothing's, oh, I see. You click on sign
It
in.
just- Yeah, it comes back again.
No, it's interesting. It starts changing up there and then it stops. Like when you say sign in up at the top, I see that.
What
it
in the
begins to-
world?
Huh. All right, well, I don't know what's happening. Forget this. I'll have to set this up again because clearly that's bizarre. Now, one thing you can do is open a new tab, go to that plus sign on top. And let's sign in to Pipeline, right? So go to pipeline or sbcc.edu. So,
Sorry, I don't memorize my sign-ins.
no need to apologize.
Mine are always changed.
So you guys, Julie is the one speaking. The rest of you, you need to answer with the emoticons. If you were able to get into the form, give me a yes. If you were not able to get into the form, give me a no. Okay, so a red no if you did not get in, a green yes if you got in. Because I need to see what's happening. Okay, so that's 4 people who were able to do it. The rest of you got, and since I have 4 responses, I guess that's you, and the rest of you are, now I have 5 responses, so that's good.
Now it's telling me my password doesn't work. I've had this, geez.
Okay, well then, I can't help you with that, don't.
No, I have no idea why it would have changed. I did not change it.
Well, do you have like something on your keyboard that maybe the key locks is uppercasing it, or do you know what I mean? The caps lock?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
know.
turned on?
Right.
No?
Yeah, well,
Other than that,
okay,
then
switch
try it one more
down.
time and then just wait, because when you need to get in to get to the handouts, which I'm going to show you all how to do now, you're going to need to be able to sign in, right? So yeah, your question. Now,
I don't know if this, Deanna, I don't know
Mhm.
if this is connected, but I had a painting class at the Wake Center this morning.
Mhm.
And when people went to show their vaccination card or their student ID, it said, oh, sorry, you're not in the system. So somebody did something this summer since the first session. So
click
I don't
on,
know.
so go ahead and click on there where it says J Moore from this website. Click on that just in case it did get remembered, and then go down to login. Even because it, no, just now click the word login, because that was, click the word login. Okay, so basically it looks like your password has been a data leak, put in your account at highly. So go ahead and say not now, don't change it now, but you got in. So your computer does remember your password because you're in the pipeline right now. So your computer does remember it and it is working,
Okay,
but maybe you have a different one or you think it's a different one. Your computer remembers the right one.
Yeah.
Right, and I can show you later how to go on the keychain from your pipeline. From your computer now you can find out what is it that your computer remembers. Now, go back to the back Apple student survey right now, which is the tab in front. Yeah, the first tab, like up there, your mouse was on it, like right, go up to the top where it's, yeah, no, stop, down. Okay, where your mouse is right now, like an inch up or half an inch up, it says Mac Apple. Yeah, click on that. That's your other tab. Try to sign in now. No, so something's really weird with that, with your account. So close this tab, and for now, I'm stopping your share. Yeah, close this up and just, yeah, I don't know. I now have 5 responses from the 10 of you guys. So
Why?
I'll test and see what's happening later. That's why some of you aren't getting in. So I saw the 5 people. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who said yes. So
Diana?
Rod and Sharon and Dorothy and Barbara, you guys, no, Barbara did. So Dorothy, Rod, and Sharon and Julie, you 4 were not able to get into the form. Sharon, what happened to you?
I thought I sent it to you. I filled it out and I put submit.
Oh, that's good. But since you didn't give me a green check mark, I'm just counting green
Oh,
check marks. That's
yeah,
fine. Well, I've got
Oh.
5 responses and I have 6 yeses. So someone's response, there it is, 6 responses it says now. Okay, cool. So Rod, when you clicked on the little link, what happened?
I got the survey and I answered the questions.
Okay, I'll
But
tell
I
you,
don't remember the last thing I did.
maybe at the very bottom, there's a submit that needs to be pressed.
Oh, no, no, okay. No, I've got a couple more.
So I know
questions to
I
answer.
have Dorothy's and I have Irma's because I started asking names later, Dorothy's, Irma's, and Barbara's. Okay, and then I have 2 more that answered before I asked, what's your name? 3 more. So I have 6. The 3 that I just told you I have, and then I have the 3 more that if you know you did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're fine. So yeah, you have to go all the way down. So basically everyone other than Julie can get in. So it's an issue in your screen. And the reason I'm saying this is because this again might be the kind of thing that maybe pipeline, like the tech support pipeline people can fix, because at first I thought, oh, it's a problem for the whole class, but actually everyone has been able to get in. So I don't know why you can't. So if you go to the chat where it says the link, notice that there's next to the bubble, there's like a little 3 dots that you can click on those 3 dots in the chat next to where I put the link. And then when you click on those 3 dots, you click on copy. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So copy that and then maybe paste it into an email or something and send it to yourself or to a notes place or something, and then say that's the form. And then you can go to the tech support and which is what I put in the chat up higher, which I can go ahead and put in again. So here's tech support. So now I just put in the tech support again, copy that one as well. And then when we're not in class, go to that tech support and say, hey, everyone in class was able to answer this form, but I couldn't, and have them see that sign in, because that's class stuff. That's an example of class stuff that they can try to help you with. Does that make sense, you guys?
When I hit copy, where is it going?
Well, now you need to paste it onto something. Now, have you used notes before that I've taught you how to use
Yeah.
notes?
Yeah.
So you can open up and paste it into a note,
Oh,
or
I
you
see.
can email it to yourself, or I don't know where
Oh,
you
I
write
see.
things on your computer,
Sure.
make a Word document, I don't know.
Drink.
I use notes all the time. All right, guys, so for better or for worse, this took a while, but and now I have 7 responses. Okay, so basically now everyone is in, Rousier's is in, and so I just did, for some mystery reason, that Barbara can't get in. So sorry, the Julie can't get in. All right, so guys,
Oh, I can get rid of a question.
one more thing. I want to have everyone open Safari. Now, how many of you guys, okay, I'm gonna clear your answers. How many of you guys use Safari? Give me a yes, green check mark. How many of you do not use Safari? Maybe you use Chrome. If you use Firefox, then give me a no, because the question is, do you use Safari? Give me a yes. If you don't use Safari, give me a no. Okay. So Sharon, what browser do you use?
Chrome.
Chrome. And Dorothy?
Chrome.
Okay, okay. And Barbara hasn't answered, and Michelle, do you guys use Safari or Chrome, or what do you use? I'm gonna, oh no, Barbara, you answered on the top. I'm seeing the other screen. You did answer, so just Michelle, I'm not sure. Now, Irma, you wrote to
Yes.
me something. Can
Oh,
you,
can you hear me?
yeah, I have a request. When you guys write in the chat, when you write, can you see that you can see that you can write to me or to everyone? Please try to choose everyone when they are class questions like this, so that everyone knows what you're asking, okay? That way,
Okay, well-
direct to me would be, I'm having a headache, I need to go, or something like that. But if not, it's a class question. So, yeah, so the
But
question.
the question I didn't finish and I sent it by mistake.
Oh,
But on the survey, it asked me how many Mac devices I have. And it only let me choose one. Because I
Oh.
wanted to choose laptop. I have
okay, so that's,
laptop,
all
Mac.
right. Okay, so that's something I need to fix. Thank you. I must see, that's a perfect feedback, because I must have it. Let me go to that question. Multiple choice. That's a good point. Multiple
Yeah,
choice is,
Editing.
I don't see, yeah, so check boxes instead of multiple choice. There we go. So if you click on the link, I have set it up to fix your, let me make sure. Yeah, so everyone, thank you so much, Irma, for saying that, because that means that no one got that one correctly answered, because she's right. I had it set up as only either or. So click on the link again.
Again, okay.
Let me give you the link again. And this time you'll get a chance to put your name on top. And then go to the what type of Apple devices do you own? And now it's a checkbox. So if you have a Mac and an iPad and an iPhone or whatever, you can click on, I think I said other because I don't know, maybe you have a smart watch. I guess I should have put smartwatch. Yes.
When you said click on the last link that you gave,
Oh, look at you.
when I
Yeah.
clicked on it, it said you've already responded.
But that's interesting because I put a setting that says allow response editing. Responses can be changed after submitting.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. I see now. It says edit the response. So click on that.
Oh,
to
okay.
edit. Okay, got it.
Mhm. Yeah, so you should be able to edit your response and now answer the new question. Okay, so thank you so much for that that pointer there, Irma, because that is one of the more important things for me. If not, I wouldn't make you guys go in there again. All right, so Barbara, you said no to something. What's that no to? You have a no?
I don't know. What was the question? No. I don't remember what the question
Oh,
was.
I think the original question was if you use Chrome or Safari
Okay,
or
I
Firefox.
mostly use Chrome. I'm just now starting to use Safari.
Okay,
I know I now noticed that my Chrome bookmarks show up in Safari.
yeah, so.
And
the-
that's
here-
one of the reasons I didn't use Safari.
All right, so here's the thing. When I asked that question is because I will be demonstrating everything using Safari. And this is a Mac class, and I'm going to show you everything in Safari and teach you how to use Safari. You can
Cool.
still choose to use Chrome. But yes, if you want your bookmarks to transfer, you can do that, like you said, Barbara. But let me actually explain, and I'm gonna share my screen right now. Why? So everyone open Safari, even if you don't normally use Safari, because we're in a Mac class, and then you can, it might be a little bit confusing sometimes because when you're accustomed to how something shows up, you want it to show up that way always. And also if you say the Chrome has your book, your Center, the City College Pipeline login memorized, you want to just stay with Chrome, go for it. But my point is to push you as to, in the Mac class, to use Mac things, and then you can decide on your own which one you prefer to use afterwards. But I do have a couple of pointers as to why Safari, and I'm not trying to sell you on Safari versus Chrome. I'm trying to teach you how to use the stuff your computer comes with. But Safari is really good about privacy versus Chrome is the opposite. Chrome is the most unprivate, the most, I'm going to take everything I can, all the information I can from you, suck it in, and spit it out to all the advertisers that pay me for your information. Safari, on the other hand, its claim to fame, and the reason people are switching to it so much is because for the last few years, it's leading the whole battle for privacy out in the world of the internet. And the only one who's really resisting is Chrome, because Firefox is really good about privacy too. So Safari and Firefox are really good about privacy. But that's why you get all these questions, Sharon, where it's like, oh, you need to share your screen. Well, you need to give me your password, like that kind of stuff. It's so the Mac is trying to be really careful that really it is you sharing all this information and not someone else and stuff like that. Now, of course, then that means you have to remember passwords, or you can have the computer remember your password, and that itself is locked and passworded. So right now, I'm going to show you how to get to the class handouts. So in
How do
particular,
you get to the Safari home screen?
well, if you open up your Safari and you're seeing something else, it's probably because you have already told your computer that when you open Safari, you want to see something else. So whatever you're seeing when you open Safari doesn't matter. But if you do want to actually get to your home screen, I believe there if you go have you, so I don't to get to your start screen, I can show you preferences.
Mine shows pipeline when I click
Okay.
on Safari.
Well, then that might be your start screen. think if you go down, but you'd have to be in your start screen to do that. You'll have to do it through preferences, which is something I'm going to teach you guys. I wasn't going to do that right now. So hold on to that question because I can show you how to change your start screen, but I don't want to get into that right now. First, I want to show everyone how to get to the class handouts. First of all. Second of all, these classes are being recorded. Oh, no. Is the recording not happening?
No, it is being recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because when I shared, and some of you weren't here, but I switched to my phone, Zoom, and then back here, and I thought that the recording might have gotten interrupted. Okay, as long as it's being recorded, we're fine. Because the whole point of these, for better or for worse, these online courses is that the, got it, Doug, thank you. Or, there you go, sorry. I got a message in the direct message mode and that's why it gets, it jumps me out for a second of what I'm saying. Back to this is that these class recordings, I post a link to them and I put them in your handouts. So whenever you want to review something or reset something, or like someone who had to go to the doctor and just wrote, okay, it's time for my doctor, I need to leave right now, I'll come back when it's over. They just messaged me that, but they had emailed me about that. So I knew that that's fine. Then if you missed an hour, you go and catch up on that hour, okay? So in for better or for worse, in person, there's all these advantages to person. In Zoom, the big advantage is we record everything. But that also means that you need to go back and see any part that you've missed so that when you join the class the next day, you're caught up. Does that make sense? It's a benefit, but it's also, it's a privilege you gotta use, right? You gotta, so how do we get to them? First of all, let's sign into sbcc.edu. So you go to the, sbcc.edu. So go to the school website. And then you go here to the left of the word, to the letter P for pipeline. Now, if you like to type and go straight to pipeline.sbcc.edu, it takes you to this same place. Course registration, rosters, account management, password being available from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. So if anyone has issues, so you will still get to pipeline and Gmail. Okay, so you will still be able, it won't affect you guys at all. Okay. And the only piece of people that will accept is if you need to change your password or your account, Sharon. In your case, if you need to create an account. So tomorrow it'll be closed from 5 in the morning to 7 in the morning. Oh, that's fine. 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. shouldn't even be awake, hopefully. Hopefully you're still having a coffee or something. After 7 a.m. it'll be available. All right. So when we get here, you need to put in your username and your password, which now we know for many of you guys, it is recorded. And the thing that's recording it is called the keychain. If you were asked, do you want to record it? And you said yes, then the keychain, the computer keychain is an app that saves your passwords. And I can show you how to retrieve your passwords from that app. But right now, put it in there and say login. Now, I understand that Sharon, yours might not be working right now, so you need to get it set up. But once you do get it set up, then over here, you'll get into this page and you'll have to go to student and then student resources. Click on student resources. Michelle, do you have your account all set up? Are you able to do this? Not hearing. I know, Michelle, you're on your iPhone, but if you if you can respond either with sound or on the chat to tell me, because I want to make sure that you're keeping up with everything I'm doing. Student resources, now head over. By the way, I just want to tell you that this is the place where you guys can sign into classes, check on what classes you have been signed into, your K number, things that you might be asked about. But I want to point to everyone that there's under student, my personal information. So up to student again, my personal information. If you click on that, then you can add or change old email addresses. I constantly get stuff back from me saying that your email, you've changed your email, for example. You used to have maybe a cox.net and now you have a Gmail. This would be the place to change it to. Or some people haven't recorded theirs, like Irma, for example, your address isn't there. So, or if you have, information, need to update your password. So, but you have to be in here to update your password, right? So if you don't even have it, you can't do that. But anyway, I'm going to show you that place. Some of you have a preferred first name, like your roster says Amelia and everyone calls you Amy. Well, then go to preferred first name Amy, and then in the roster, I'll see Amy, so I'll call you Amy. You know what I mean? So like, this would be a place where you change the name you actually want to be called. Like my husband is technically Harold, but everyone calls him Jack. I mean, his father was Harold, so he's Jack. So if on the roster it would say Harold, I as a teacher would be calling him Harold, he'd feel uncomfortable. Change the name to Jack, right? So anyway, if that's any of you guys that like, if instead of Dorothy, you're Dot, I don't know. I have some Dorothys that are Dot, some Dorothys that are Dorothy. I wouldn't know unless you change it right here. All right, I wanted to show you that. To go back to where we came, right? You can go either back here to the word student, or it becomes more complicated to navigate these guys because I have different ones than you. Just return to pipeline right there, return to pipeline. Okay. If you get lost, there's always a return to pipeline. Okay. Now, I just wanted to show you that a lot of people don't know those things and think that they have to go and make the changes at the office or whatever. So now, again, student resources. Student resources on the far right. Here you have Google Drive. Okay, so click on Google Drive. Again, I'd say 90% of you guys have done this. For sure, I know that Michelle and Sharon have never done this. Okay, so once again, how do you get this? You get to pipeline, student resources, and then over here on the right side, Google Drive. When you get to Google Drive, you'll see over here on, you'll probably, if you've never used it, you might see a welcome to Google Drive, that kind of message. It'll be empty because you might have not used it yet. Well, you need to go down to the word shared drives. Shared drives. And when you click on shared drives, you should see here one folder called Mac Intro Level 1 and 2. And then double click on that Mac Intro 1 and 2. And that's our classes. Now I know that it seems like I did a lot to get here, but in reality, just so you guys are really clear, it was just.
Diana,
Yes.
Diana, mine only shows a folder that says Mac Class 2, and then the other one is a folder that says newsletter.
Okay, so click on shared drives. You must not be on shared drives.
Shared drives. Okay, I am on shared drives. Let me see what this is. On the shared drive, when I click it, it also shows highlight shared drive and Mac Intro Level 1.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Mac Intro Level 1 and 2.
Okay.
If you're also signed into my iLife class, you would see iLife. If you're in my Photoshop class, you would see Photoshop. So whatever classes of mine you're signed into, I set them all up last night. So you should be showing as many blocks there as whatever classes you're in that are mine. Okay. So if
But
you're only
mine,
in this one, you should see only this one.
Mine doesn't look like what you're showing. I don't know why.
It's possible. Does it look like this?
Uh,
Like that? Okay, why don't you share my screen, your screen, instead of me guessing?
I
Let's
think,
see.
very sorry. I keep getting lost because I am eye impaired.
No, you know what? This, please,
Can you see?
I
Emma?
beg you all, listen. No one should ever apologize. This is what you're in class for. When I say share your screen, it's not that something's wrong. It's that we get to the place where my words are not good enough. It's faster for you to share, right? So don't ever need to apologize for having to share your screen, or people will start to think that it's a problem to share your screen. It's not. See how quick it is when you have it set up? Okay, so you're there, you're in the exact same spot, except for you have on the right side, you have the details turned on. Like it up at the top where it says Macintosh Shared Drive and there's an X next to it. Click on that X to get rid of that. Try again. Yeah, there you go. So you're in the same spot, but you are seeing the files by list instead of by grid. So if you go up to that little, no, now down a little bit more, like a little bunch of squares right under the word. Yeah, click on that. And that shifts it to this mode where you see like little previews of each one. And if you click on that again, go to the same icon, which now looks like a list.
I'm
And
sorry.
now it's,
you want me
yes.
to-
Yeah, I
right?
want you to switch back and forth. List
Oh,
view,
okay.
click on list view. Now you're seeing
Okay.
as a list or grid view. Click on grid view. So that's how you flip in case some of you guys have it flipped. So if you
Oh.
scroll down, you'll see that you see all your handouts, like start scrolling down and all those handouts, they show you a little preview of the first page. See that? Or if you prefer to just see the file names, then click on that icon that I just told you to click again.
Right here.
No, right under that. It's next to the little exclamation point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, little I. And there it goes. Now it's the same thing, but now you're seeing them as a list of file names. Okay. So your preference, if you prefer to see the file names or if you prefer to see the first page of it, so whatever's more comfortable for you, right? But that's the little icon that switches from grid view to list view. Was everyone able to practice that? Grid view, list view. Please do that. Whenever someone has a question, that's the time for everyone to practice, to learn, not to just wait until I work with Yolanda. It's a question that now leads me to have everyone go and see how to switch from list view to grid view so that you're more comfortable with this, right? So anyway, now, and then that little I with a circle that's right next to the icon, when you click on that, yeah, click on that. That's what you had on before. It says view details and it kind of shows you information about this one thing, but it takes up all your space. See, it's pretty useless. So you can just click on that X to get rid of it. And that's how, but that's what that little, you must have clicked on that little I at some point. It means info, information. Okay. So now what you're seeing is the right thing. And on the top left, right under the word suggested, like the first thing you see, yeah, right there, that big box says Zoom class recording links. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you. This is where I will put all of the class recordings. So go ahead and double click on that. And here you go. Move it over a bit. And here you have the class recording links for this class. First of all, I have a link to how to get here, but it's kind of a weird link because of course, that's the whole point, right? That link is, you're in here already, but this thing shows you how to get in here. But in the future, you can click on that link. And then right next to day 1, day 2, day 3, there will be a link. And after today, like tomorrow morning, or sometimes by tonight, it'll be ready. You'll have a link here. Well, you'll be able to watch the entire recording of today's class. By the end of Wednesday, you'll have another link here where you'll be able to record. Does that make sense, you guys? So that's how to get it. Now you can, I'm going to stop your share. Now that might have looked really intimidating, but let me show you one more time. Let me show you something. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so now, how do you use these recordings? The following way. Right now, it says it's 2:52. Let's say it's almost 3 p.m., right? What time did the class start?
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah, even if some of you showed up later or whatever, like a recording for this class started at 1:30, right? So say that I'm about to say something that's important, which I am. I'm going to just show you the process really quickly again of how to get in, right? I'm just going to do it, doom, doom, doom. So you see that it takes a total of like 1 minute. You can go to a notepad, have a notepad next to your computer and say at 2:52, she showed how to access the handouts, right? And then on your own, you kind of count down. And if the class started at 1:30, that basically means that an hour and a half into the class, I showed you how to access something that you want, in this case, the recordings. And then you click on the link for the recording, which is going to be a 4-hour class, and you scroll over to an hour and a half, and then you'll see me explaining this bit. Does that make sense, you guys? Because the recording is the entire 3 hours and 45 minutes. And the way to navigate that, instead of sitting to watch 3 hours, 45 minutes, is to have notes saying, oh, at about 3 p.m. or at 4:30 p.m., she talked about this thing. And then you can just go to that time by knowing what time the class started. Okay, so now at 2:53 p.m., I'm going to show you the entire process of get to the handouts without all the interruptions. So basically go to svcc.edu. You can do this on Safari, but you can do it on Chrome, or you can do it on Firefox, it doesn't matter. On the left side, click on the word pipeline. Oh, I'm already signed in. Sorry, let me sign out. You have to then sign in, okay? Log in. Sometimes you'll go straight into pipeline. A few times, because I just signed out, it takes me to this other thing that looks a little bit strange, but right here you have pipeline portal. And it gets you in here. So that might happen a few times, and other times you go straight in here. Then you go to student resources, Google Drive, and then on the left side, shared with me. Sorry, not shared with me. Oh, shared drives. Once you get to shared drives, you should see whatever drive it is that you are in my class. And I have many because of all the classes I'm in. But you should see the Mac intro. Double click on that. And here are the recordings and all the class files that we can use, class handouts as to how to do certain things or not, okay? Now, this here is like a shortcut to the latest thing that I opened. And so it's usually gonna be like right now, I have Mac level 1 and Mac level 2 up there, but Mac level 2 hasn't started yet. So make sure that you open the one that's for Mac level 1. And then over here, there will be a link will be here, you know, I'm going to put that here right now so that you know it'll be there and it'll look like that. And you'll click on it. And I'm going to click on this one as an example. You'll click on it and then you have to click again. Okay, so it's a click and a click on this thing that appears down there. That takes you to YouTube and it's going to show you an ad because that's what it does. And then I'll pop in and it'll be the beginning of the class. Now, it's important for you to know that this is a private link, meaning no one can search YouTube and find this. So it's not like people will see you in class, except for if you have this link, which is you guys, people in the class. So then this is where you scroll. So see over here, you can scroll to 4 minutes or 6 minutes. This is a very short one, so it's only 11 minutes. But when it's a 4-hour one, you'll see here it says, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours and a half, and you click on that. And then takes you to whatever that part of the video is that you need to be in. You watch it, and then you move on to the next part and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is my recording of how to do exactly what I'm teaching you right now. But in your case, you will end up at a 4-hour recording where you can scroll by, and you don't see that line. You have to touch it. And there's when you see the timeline. And when you say, oh, there it is, you know, 4 hours, you click right there. The mouse goes to that, and then you just press play, and then it starts playing from that moment on. Okay, so you can advance and go backwards doing this, or you can click here again. Every time you click, the thing goes over. You click here, whatever you click, it starts at that point, and you can find, oh, there's when she started talking about this. Okay? Any questions, you guys? When you're done, you can just notice that what happened up here, and this is now more of a Safari, Chrome, Firefox, internet browser thing. When you click on all these links, different tabs opened up here. And by now, these should have opened up for you. If you've gone and clicked on student resources and so clicked on shared drives and clicked on the Zoom class files, you should have 4 tabs up here. Now I clicked on this link and it took me to even one more. So these are all different
Your
tabs.
shipping manager left to find themselves.
Okay, so someone's clicking on a link and I could hear the recording going on. But all these tabs are, you can go back without closing them. I can go back to my handouts and open a different one, right? And you can go back to the student resources and open something else. So this is a multiple tab page. Now, if everyone does not have it set up this way, it could be that you need to change your settings. Like if you ended up with one tab always, and each time you clicked, it kept changing and changing, and you have one tab, then we can change your settings. So can you, now I'm going to clean all your feedback and tell me, did you all get many tabs like me, or are you each time ending up in the same tab? Like it keeps switching and you lose your old one. So if you have multiple tabs, please answer yes, I have multiple tabs, the green check mark. No, I don't have multiple tabs, then say no and give me the red check mark. Okay, so, and everyone has to answer, right? Because I need to see what's happening in your, this is how I check in with you guys. You need to give me back the answer. Now, Sharon, even if you're not in Pipeline, try to open Safari and click on a link or two and see if it opens in new tabs, just to test, because now I'm kind of, it's something I'm teaching. All right. And Michelle, your hand is up. Yep. What's the question?
I don't know if it's because my internet connection maybe isn't as strong, but I'm not able to, once I hit on Google Drive, it's not going to the next thing. So and I've tried it quite a few times.
Okay, so once you get here to this part.
I can't even get to that.
Okay, so you're not in Google Drive then, you mean here? When you said Google Drive, I'm trying to see.
Yeah, when there's that icon up there and then you push it, mine won't go to.
This one does not take you to Google Drive? This one that I'm pointing to?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
The little bar at the top is just moving a micrometer a second, or a minute. It's just going.
Okay. Really. Yeah. So that okay, it's not, then it's okay. But thank you, because if it's moving really slowly, and we already saw that you were having issues with connection, it's because you're having issues with connection. So 2 options. You can disconnect for the class for like 30 seconds, check it out, see if it works, and then connect again, or you can trust that it'll work, because if it is moving even slowly, it means that it's going there. It just doesn't have enough power to take you there and to keep Zoom going. Okay, so
yeah,
then you are in the class, meaning I already put, I saw you are in the roster, so I put you in. So once you don't have Zoom busy, you will click in here, you will be there. Like it is there. Now, if when Zoom is not happening and you click and you can't go there, and there's an issue like with your Pipeline account, then you need to go to Santa Barbara IT tech support. But I mean, I've only had like 1 or 2 students in the last 3 years who've had such an issue that truly their Google Drive wasn't working. I'm not saying it can't be possible, but it's 99% possible that you're on Zoom. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But if when you're not on Zoom, it's not there, then go to the tech support and ask them to help you with your Google Drive, because it's possible.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Now, just so you know, the school does have hotspots to lend to students, which is they'll give you something that allows you to connect to the internet for the direction of the class that might be faster than your connection. I don't know. So you might want to check that out. And then you can have like your phone on your home pipeline and your computer on the school hotspot. And then you can have both things on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give that, you can connect, check with Emma Cruz, which it's in the email that I sent. Email Emma Cruz or call her and say, I think I might need a hotspot. The main campus lends them out, but the Wake campus also has a schedule during the day where you can go and you can borrow one from them. And it basically looks like a phone. And I'm just telling you that because if anyone else needs it, let me know that everyone is here. And some people just had to leave, and I wish I had said this before. Someone just had to go to the doctor, but this is what a hotspot looks like. It's, in this case, it's just a phone. Okay. Actually, my husband's work, they gave him a little box that was that. But it's in college, they gave me a phone, an Android phone that I only use. I open it up and I connect, and they have it connected in such a way that I have Wi-Fi through it, and then I can use it as my connection. Now, why am I saying this, you guys? Because on Wednesday, well, in part because I'm offering you guys, if you need it, to just get going from school. But the second reason is because on Wednesday, I am experiencing one of those pre-planned power outages that have been, we've had so many this summer. I don't know what they're doing out here. But the thing is, they've always been like from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. So I've only once, 2 years ago, had to cancel a class for that. But this time it's happening. I have the power outage in front of me. Oh, someone took it. But here it is, department. Anyway, basically it's supposed to last until 2 p.m. Where do I have it? I moved it out of my screen, but anyway, on Wednesday, this class starts at 1:30 p.m. The power outage is supposed to last until, I'm trying to remember if it's 2 or 2:30. I put it in my calendar. Give me a second. Because I thought we were going to waste an hour of class, not half an hour. I have it here. Power outage. Oh, from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Yes, from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And our class starts at 1:30. So there's one whole hour that I will not have power. And they've always pretty much turned it on at the right time. So I would assume that at 2:30 it'll come in. So there's two possibilities for Wednesday. One, we just start at 2:30 p.m. We just miss an hour. B, I do have a hotspot, right, that connects to Wi-Fi independently of the internet. And I have an iPad, which you guys who have been with me forever know that I've never had an iPad. Well, I actually have been a teacher who was leaving the area, donated her iPad for me so that I could teach, because you guys always have iPads and I don't know how to help you with it because I don't have one. I have an iPad now. It's kind of old, but it works. The thing is, I have never tried to run Zoom off of an iPad and a hotspot. But what I'm going to do is I'll try at 1:30 p.m. to open the class on my iPad and on Wi-Fi. You guys, please show up at 1:30 p.m. If by 1:40 p.m. nothing's happening because for some reason I'm not answering, then just go have some fun and come back at 2:30 p.m. Well, you know what I'm trying to say? I'll send you an email. I'll do my best to run it. Let's give me 15 minutes. If from 1:30 to 1:45, I'll be trying. And if it works, it works. And we'll be doing class. There's so much stuff I can teach you off of, because remember, this class is going to teach you how to use your Mac, but also the connected iPhone and iPad devices, because we're talking about the iCloud here. So I can teach you that way until 2:30 and then switch to my computer. Or if by 1:45, I'm not letting you into the class, that means that I haven't been able to connect, in which case, go and hang out for another 45 minutes, do whatever you want, take a walk, come back at 2:30 p.m. and that's when I'll start the class, okay? So everyone's been warned. I'll send you an email with the same information so you remember. We'll try at 1:30, give it 10 to 15 minutes, and then if I'm there, I'm there. And if I'm not there, just let's forget about it until 2:30, okay? So I'm all set up to try. but I can't promise it's gonna work. All right. So, let's, I'm gonna have to email it because two people had to leave early. They had told me about that. By the way, I really appreciate being told ahead of time if you need to leave, so it's not like suddenly you just disappear. And it's okay, people have things to do, it's summer, just warn me. And this thing is, especially those of you who've taken the class a lot know, the important thing is to at least try to sign up for the portion of the time that you can, so that I can give you attendance and you can access the recordings. Okay, but if you don't show up at all and don't tell me, then you know, after a class or two, I'll just drop you from the class. All right, so Michelle, your hand is still up. Is it the same question as before, or is it something new?
It was the same as before.
Okay,
Same,
great.
yeah.
I'll
Thank
lower
you.
your hand. Sharon, your hand is up.
My hand is up, yes. I have been messing around and I got into the account on my
Oh.
old account that they said was deleted. And I've gotten to shared drives and your
Oh, cool.
Mac OS one. And that's
Okay.
as far as I got. I can't.
Okay,
I
if
can't.
you, all right, if you see Mac OS one, double click on it.
Oh, double click. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do I go back and forth? Because I panic when I leave and go to Chrome or Safari, and then I can't get back to you. Do I just click on Zoom and I'll always be able to get back?
Yeah, so that's true, because this is your first Zoom class on a computer, and it makes a difference. You might have done Zoom for 3 years now, or about 2 years, most of us now. But when you have to use your computer and be on Zoom, it's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I've
So
never done it.
when I share my screen, like right now, your screen ends up taken over by me, right? So one thing you can do is hit the escape key on your keyboard. And then at that point, you need to be on Zoom for that. So make sure that on the top by the apple, it says the word Zoom. So like you need to go click on the dock, the word Zoom. And if the word by the apple says Zoom, then you're on Zoom, then hit the escape key. Because when I share my screen, like right now, once you hit the escape key, then you can grab that window that I'm sharing, which right now is my Google Drive, and grab with your mouth and make it fit only half your screen, so that you are seeing me on half the screen. And
Wow.
then the other half of your screen is available for you to use your own.
Wow.
It gets compressed, right? You have one screen where you have two portions. Remember that one of my questions in the survey was, do you have two devices, like an iPad and a laptop, or do you have two monitors? Some people have two monitors on their screens. I have 3 monitors on my computer. So then you put me on one and then you see the stuff on the other. But if you have, say, an iPad, you connect with the iPad to watch me and with your computer to do the classwork, right? So it depends. Now the iPhone is a bit harder because you'd have to have really good eyesight on the iPhone to see my demo to then work on it in the computer. So that doesn't really work, but an iPad can work. Or you can, for some people, my third monitor is something I picked up at a thrift store and just connected with a cable, you know, for $20. So you can just buy a monitor, connect to have a bigger monitor, a second monitor on your detail. So I can, you know, but if you just have the one screen, then you have to scooch me over, because you're gonna have to do the whole class on your computer, seeing me do it and you doing it, right? So are you able to do that thing where you're moving me half in?
So how do I do that now? I
Go and put your mouth.
Because all I see is a red dot recording and a green check. I don't see.
Do you see for it? Right now, I'm sharing a screen that says SBCC single sign-on portal. Do
Yeah.
you see that screen? Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever window is showing that, when you put your mouse on the edge of that window, you can scooch it in so that it becomes thinner and
Okay.
fills up only half of your screen. Can you do that? Is that working? And it's particularly important right now, like when I'm sharing. So it doesn't matter what I'm sharing. It's the fact that I am sharing something that fills your screen that you need to be able to move. Because whatever it is that I'm sharing, you'll have to be able to see to replicate. So then you'll have your own browser on the other half of your screen.
Where does the mouse go to make it smaller?
on the very edge. And so if this is your window, go to the very edge of it as much as you can. And when it turns into a double-headed arrow, because you the tip of your mouse touches the edge of it, then you can click and grab it to change its size. Thing is, let me, I'm gonna change my share. I'm gonna do something else to show you. I'm gonna open another window. So, and now I'm gonna share this entire desktop. So now I'm sharing my entire desktop, which gets a bit more confusing because there's so much on it, right? But so say that you have me there. So this is different windows because I can't share window screens, and you have another one. So if you want to make a window smaller or bigger, you put it on the edge and you can make it bigger or smaller, right?
Okay.
So the same with the Zoom, you put your mouse on the edge of wherever I am and just move it sideways, and then move the other one here sideways so that they're kind of parallel to each other, and I'll be on one side and you'll be on the other. Does that make sense?
Yes, so when
Okay.
I'm on your shared screen with your page, I can change your screen small and make it smaller.
Yes, like right now, were you able to change my screen and make it smaller? Right
No,
now I'm sharing. I'm sharing the worst case scenario, 'cause I'm sharing my entire desktop screen, which is big. Sometimes that's how it has to be. So have you hit this escape key on your keyboard? That's important first because it needs to disconnect. When I share my screen, it originally wants to fill your screen. So you need to hit the escape.
yeah,
And
it's not-
then,
it's
and
not that-
then you have to go to the very edge of your screen and click and drag in. No? You need to explain to me what you're seeing so that I can begin to understand.
My mouse is just walking around. It's not making it smaller. I'm going to the edge and I'm trying to move it, but it's not moving.
Can you go up to the top and maybe bring it down and move it over so you can move it?
No, I should be able to make your pages smaller because nothing is working on your pages.
If you hit the escape
No.
key, that'll do
Yeah,
it.
you
Yeah,
can't,
I
you
did.
can't, you can't click into my Finder, my whatever. That's just a video for you. But the window that holds all that, the very far end of that is what you can make smaller. So you won't be able to access this nor this of mine, but there's a window you are seeing that's holding all of this, including my colorful
Yeah, I can
background.
make the whole window smaller. I was trying to make the
Yes.
one page, the single sign-on page.
No, no, no,
or
no,
the-
no, no.
Yeah, or the other, the
No,
whole
the
page.
entire thing I'm sharing now. If
Yeah,
now I'm sharing
can
the
do that.
entire thing. Now, if I decide to share only that window, see how I changed what I'm sharing? Now that window seems to be the single sign-on, but it's really just the window I'm sharing that happens to be sharing. So now you can make that bigger, but
Yes.
it's because
Got
it's what
I
I'm
can do
sharing.
that.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, and then with the other half of your screen, open up Safari of yours and do the work that we're doing on your own so that you can see whether you're getting, and here's back to my original question, do you guys have multiple tabs or do you not have multiple tabs?
Okay, I'm back in Safari. Now, how do I get your page on my half?
Well, open up sbcc.edu, sign in.
Yeah, I'm at Mac intro level 1 and 2.
Okay, so double
And I
click.
double click. Okay, I've double clicked.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
should be seeing this on me, and then on the other side, you should be seeing this twice. You should be seeing it in my share, and then if you double click, you should be seeing it in your Safari as well. Does that make, are you seeing this twice, so to say, mine and yours?
No, all I'm getting is my one page. Maybe I can't share because I'm not signed in properly.
No, the lack of sharing has to do with your Apple password. That has nothing to do with
Okay, it says Zoom class recording.
yeah.
Do I
There you
click
go.
on that?
Well, no, right now there's nothing there, but later, yes, notice that there's two, there's Zoom class recordings, Mac level 2 and Mac level 1. Make sure to click on the right one, which is Mac level 1, and just double click on it and it'll open up.
Okay, well, I wasn't able to bring your page over onto my Safari page. And now,
Okay, so just double click and open up. Whatever
what
you
am
see
I
on
doing?
mine is not important. So you said that you saw Zoom class recordings, double click on Zoom class recordings. And you should end up in this page.
Okay, but there are,
There are two. Is that what you're saying? There's Mac
okay, I've
level
got Zoom
2
class
and Mac
recording
level.
links. Zoom class recording links.
Okay.
Now,
And there's nothing there yet. It just says link will be here, right?
right. Yes.
Okay, after today's class, by the end of tonight, for sure by tomorrow morning, sometimes it takes, like, because the 4 hours of class have to be processed by YouTube, it has to be uploaded. So it takes about a half a day, sometimes a day. Then when you click on the link, you'll get to the class recording, okay? So when you guys finish a class on Monday, you have one entire day, Tuesday and a half until Wednesday afternoon to watch it. And then when we finish our Wednesday class, you have all week until next Monday to watch the second one, right? So that'll hopefully help you catch up. Okay, so now that Michelle, yep, your hand is up. You have a question?
Yes, I do. Yes, I'm with the fact that my signal is weak, be telling me, or would that have to do with the fact that it says, "We are sorry, but you do not have access to Google Docs. Please contact your organizational organization administrator for access."
All right, so no, that is not because of a slow connection. That is, so you went to Pipeline shared drives and it says you can't access it?
Right.
When you tried to open the Zoom class recordings, you couldn't access it.
Right. I still, oh, yeah, no, I don't have Zoom on my computer yet.
No.
Oh,
It's not about Zoom. When you got that message,
uh-huh.
you were in the handouts, you tried to open this document and it said that? Is that what happened? Or
Yeah,
when?
I hit Google Docs and
No, why
yeah.
Google, but you don't need to hit Google Docs. That's why I'm
No, I mean
asking, where did
Google
you?
Drive, sorry, Google Drive.
Okay, so in this page here, Google Drive
Yeah.
didn't open?
Right.
All right, yeah, that's definitely a student IT tech support question, and it's not because of Zoom. That's something that is internal. It could
Oh,
be.
do you think I
It's a, you should definitely check in again after class today. They'll be closed. So tomorrow you have all day. I think they said that they're open. What time did they say? They'll be open from 11:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Oh.
Okay, so here I'm putting the dates. It's a short schedule because it's summer, so I just put it in the chat. Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 4 p.m. So if you can connect at some point at that time and say, hey, I'm trying to get to my handouts on Google and it's not working, and they can look up and see what's happening.
Okay, could it possibly be an issue that I have to just sign in again and try again, or? you
Well,
think?
if it says you need to contact your IT administrator, no, that's different.
Okay.
That said, those kind of messages sometimes are glitches. If when the class is over, you sign out of Zoom, you've signed out of Pipeline, and you try again, and it works, then sometimes it just works. Now and then, you know how they're doing fixes right now. We got a message there that said they were doing fixes, so maybe there's little glitches happening. So give it a try after class, and hopefully it'll work.
Oh,
The
okay.
best I can say is say that hopefully it'll work after class. So,
All right.
all right. Now,
Yeah.
okay. So now everything we've been doing today has been about setting up the class, and some of you guys have been taking classes, so you're a bit more silent, just so you know, which makes more sense thus that, you know, Michelle or Sharon, the people who have been in class are asking most of the questions. Once we get, you know, continue to get going, no, everyone will be asking. So don't feel, Sharon and Michelle, bad. It's just that you're the two who haven't done this Zoom class before versus everyone else here has been on Zoom with me before. Okay.
All right.
All right. So now the part that I was wanting to teach you about is about Safari, which by the way is the same with Google. So whatever I teach you about Safari with Chrome is very similar. Do you guys have multiple tabs? And so I believe I need to, I've asked that before, but I'm going to clear your feedback because now there might be other answers. So here's the big question. Did you end up with multiple tabs when you kept clicking on these things like I am? Or did all of this happen switching? Like if you click on something, it just switched to that next page, switch to that next page, and you do not have, what I'm showing right now is multiple tabs. So if yes, you have multiple tabs, give me a green yes. If no, you do not know what I'm talking about and you do not have multiple tabs and you're even confused, why am I asking? It's because yours is so different. Give me a no, and then I'll help you with that. Okay, but I need everyone to answer yes or no.
Shit, where the hell is the net? Oh. Is that it there?
Sometimes people find their emoticons a bit easier when I'm not sharing. I'll stop my sharing in case it makes that easier to find them. All right, so Barbara and Sharon and Yolanda, I still need your answers, and Michelle. I need to know if you can see multiple tabs. So Rod, do you want to share your screen to show me how you're seeing your?
Okay, I'll click on share
I
screen.
know, and the reason I'm asking you is because you're the third one who hasn't shared their screen in a while. So you're the only other one left that needs to practice that. So I want to see if you can do
I just
that.
clicked on share screen and
All right,
you're
good.
looking at it.
Okay, nope, you clicked on share screen. Now, on that window that you're seeing, there's another button on the far right that says share, and it's a button that's a blue button with white letters that says share. It's a small one on the bottom right. There you go. Now you're sharing the screen. Perfect. But the screen you're sharing is empty. So do you have another monitor maybe, or?
No, I've got a,
Okay, there you go. So can you open Safari? Yeah. Okay.
I have my dock on the left. That's what that is.
No, that's fine. Yeah. So you haven't been going into Pipeline to see if you could get to the handouts?
No, because you were doing it all and I
Okay.
didn't.
All right.
I-
So when I do things, I need you guys to do it parallel so that if it works or doesn't work for you, you have a question. Now, let me just show you guys how you force a new tab to happen. So, Rod, go to the top of your window where you see gray, far right, far right, far right. Do you see a plus sign there? There's 4 icons. Do you see a plus sign? Click on that plus sign right there. There's 4. There you go. So now you have made a new tab, okay? Which happens to open, you have it set up, it would seem, that your tabs by default open up in your mail, right? So now you have 2
But
tabs.
this is, okay, all right.
This is Safari. So now go up to the top where it says www.cloud.com, like the search bar. Can you go click into that search bar? Okay, so you might have some Zoom tools in the way. Yeah, sometimes
Oh,
Zoom
wait a
tools
minute.
get in the
Where-
way. Up in the
where-
search bar, look a little bit higher
Oh,
up.
oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
click in there, yeah, and then write sbcc.edu. And now you have to get rid of that. You know what? Because you click twice, hold on. You first need to get rid of that stuff. So you need to first have it be empty. So go in there again, click in there again, and then triple click. 1, 2, 3. Try again. It didn't. I can hear the clicks and they're not fast enough to be considered clicks. There we go. Now, oh, no, don't
1, 2,
delete that.
3.
Yeah, don't delete. You click on the bottom and you lose it, right? So 2 was enough. And so go ahead and do 2 clicks again. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and hit yes, stop for a minute and don't click anymore. You see how all the writing that's in there has been highlighted? You see how there's a highlight? Don't click on anything, but you can see how there's like a little difference in color and it says HTTP www icon. So when it's highlighted like that, you can now just write what you want to write and it all disappears. So click the S for SBCC, just click S. And see how the S got written and now your computer's suggesting, oh, well, maybe you want to go to Secure Bank of America. No, you don't. And then you go to SB, it's going, oh, maybe you want to go to SBCC Zoom. No, you don't. SBCC.edu. Dot, you didn't click on the dot, you clicked on the little caret or bracket, so go backwards. There,
Okay.
1 down. Yeah. Okay, now what you just did is you used Google to find it. I just want to show people the difference, you guys. The Google suggested a help. I don't know if you noticed, but he, instead of writing sbcc.edu, he went down that list where it said sbcc.edu. And I want to teach you guys the difference between one and the other. If he had written sbcc.edu and hit return and enter, you go straight to the web page. But instead, if you use one of the suggestions from the pull down menu, which he did you notice how he went and clicked on right underneath? Then it
Yeah.
brings you here, and this is a Google search. A Google search that is looking for sbcc.edu, and it goes, oh, look, we found one. Here it is. So now you can click on this. So it's 3 clicks. Instead of writing sbcc.edu yourself, you get there directly. Does that make sense, you guys? You can try both. A lot of people only use the Google search. You're in Safari, but you're using a Google search, right? And so now you have to go find one of these possible links to see if you get to the place. So no, don't close the tab. Don't close the tab. Your mouse is on the X. Don't close that tab. Go down to the Google search, which is what you have. You see City College. So go all the way down and you'll see one word that says pipeline. And you passed it. 3 up.
Click on that.
Click on that. And now you get to pipeline. Now, to me, this is more complicated than had you done it directly on your own. Okay, so I just, cool. So now say login. And good,
Yeah,
you're
there
into
I
pipeline.
am. And now,
Go to student
student.
resources. Okay, and now on the far right, you see
go
Google
over
Drive.
here. Go.
Click on the mouse, doesn't, you go click on the link, that's the words, the link, the words. Yeah. Okay, and see how everything that you're clicking is opening a new tab? So
Yes.
you have student resources on one. Okay, so now go ahead and you can close this little window. Okay, and then go on the left side. It says My Drive. Can you go to shared drives? So on the left, yeah, go
okay.
down one under shared drives. And
Oh.
then double click and you're in the class. And here you are. Cool. And then if you want to later get to the class recordings, you can double click exactly where your mouse is. Double click on that. And it opened up. So basically what I'm doing right now, beyond helping him get here, is showing you how every single thing that he clicked on opened in a different tab. So if you go up to your tabs and put your mouse up to where, yeah, now you can go back to, yeah, click on that right, quarter inch above, that's a new tab that says Mac Intro. No, don't. If you click on that, you
Okay.
close it. If you click on the
Alright.
X, you close it. So put your mouse where you were, but move it, put your mouse exactly where you had it, and then move it a tad, yeah, keep going a little bit more. And then move it a little bit to the right. Yeah, because exactly that one spot you're pointing to has an X. And if you click on that little spot that I said don't, you would have closed that tab. And I didn't want you, I just want you to go to that tab. So any other part of the tab is safe except for the X. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so now click. And now you're back in the Mac Intro. Now go next to the left. No, right up where you were, up where you were. We're just moving within tabs. Now move to the left to the student resources pipeline. Keep going to the left. Yeah, right there. Now click on that one. And now you're in the pipeline. So these are all the tabs that you opened up. Like they all stay open. It's like you've got many different screens of your internet open. Okay, I'm just trying to show you how these tabs work. If you move one to the left, you can see right there is your iCloud Mail. So keep going to the left. There's your tab for iCloud Mail. Now, if you go all the way to the right, you can go all the way back to the Zoom class recording links. And you can click anywhere except for that very beginning that you tend to want to go to, because that very beginning of the tab has an X. Do you see it?
Right.
If you click right there, you're going to close the tab. So just go ahead and do that now because you really want to click. Boom, that tab closed up. Now you only have 3 tabs. You see that? So the only dangerous part to click on a tab is that very beginning, because that means you close the tab. Now, if you want to close the tab, that's a good idea. Say that you want to close your email. go all the way to the iCloud email. Don't click on the tab, just on that. Yeah, click on that. And right in that little corner, perfect. Click on that. And boom, you close that tab and you're left with only 2 tabs now, Student Resources and Mac Level 1. Now, again, you guys, I'm not teaching this to Rod. When people share their screens, what I'm teaching is for everyone. So I want everyone to be testing this of switching from tab to tab and closing tabs when you click on the X and flipping through, because you should all have at least about 4 tabs open by the time you're done finding your stuff. Does that make sense, you guys? Now, if you're using Chrome in the background because you prefer to use Chrome, sorry, my headset's fell off. If you prefer to use Chrome, it works exactly the same. I think the Chrome tabs might be on the right. Maybe that might like be X for them, but other than that, maybe not. Maybe they're on the left. I don't remember right now. Okay, so that's how you open things with tabs. Now, if you want to keep these 2 open because you want to be able to come back to these later, right? And then you need to start with a new tab. How do you start with a new tab? To go say to read the news or I don't know, check the weather. You have to go up to that plus sign and make a new tab because you don't want to lose this handout. Say that you want to keep the handouts open
Oh,
because you're
back
about to
over to
read them.
this.
You go back over there, open a new tab, which in your case, you have it set up to open up to your cloud mail, right? And
Oh, right.
some of you guys might have it set up to go to different stuff, or you could have it set up to go to weather or to the news or to the start page that Barbara was asking me, right? So you can choose what to have that new tab open up to. In my case, it opened up to a start page. In his case, it opens up to his email. Now go up to the top again, and this time go up to the search bar, right? Where you type, no, go up where it says, yeah, there, click in there one time and don't click again. And notice that when you clicked in there one time, you guys, see how his stuff is already highlighted? And what I mean by highlighted, see how the HTTPS www iCloud has like a little green stuff of color? That means that he can now go anywhere else. And the moment you click any key, click the H, the G, I don't know, click some one key, whatever. On your keyboard, go click one key.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, but you clicked twice. You clicked twice. So by clicking twice, you lost that highlight. So now it does. So now double click to get that highlight again. Just give it a little double click. No, that was two
Oh,
T's
wait a
or
minute.
something.
You're talking about on my mouse. All right.
On your mouse, double click. Okay, so try that again because it's only, you must have made a space. So it only gets, yeah. What I'm trying to teach you isn't as easy when it comes to the fact. So you can just delete that. Like click and drag and delete it. Like, do you know how to click and drag and put your mouse in there and yeah, click
Wait a minute. Click and drag where? I
to
don't.
the left. Yeah. Let me put your mouse in there, right? See, you see the
Here
last thing?
or there?
It doesn't matter because when you click in any part of that, your
there we get
Curse
that
your-
guy out of the way.
you had the zoom in the way. The zoom stuff gets in the way. So look at that bar up there, guys. That's the search bar. And when you click into that bar, no matter where, you highlight that entire search bar. And when you click and drag to the left, you will highlight all those words that are written there. So click and drag your mouse to the left and highlight all those words. Yeah, good. Now, whatever you write will work. So keep going left. Yeah. So instead of clicking and now you can let go of your mouse. Now you can write SBCC. And this time, stop for a minute, write .edu. And don't do anything. Don't do anything. Everyone watch. This is the difference between using the search bar to go straight to a web page instead of using the Google search. So now, since he wrote the .edu, last time he had just written SBCC edu. So he didn't go to the web page, he went to the Google search. But when you actually use the dot, it's because you know where you're going. You don't need the Google to search for the spot. You know where you're going. So now you go and you hit the return key on your keyboard and you go straight there. So it's pretty important for you guys to say that you want to go to, I don't know, tell me about a web page. I don't want to go to the news because the news is very controversial right now. They're all easy, you know, BBC, CNN, ABC, they're all such easy sites, but they're very controversial. So I'm not having us go there. But say that you want to go to the weather. Go
Okay.
ahead and now watch. Click in there first. Click in there and see when you simply clicked, don't move your mouse. See how it's already highlighted? See how there's like, when I say highlighted, see how there's like a green color underneath the words sbcc.edu?
Oh, yeah, it's, okay, yeah.
Now, don't click again, because the moment you click again, things get complicated because that disappears. Now, directly write the word weather. Yeah. And then it's suggesting weather.com, which is a good idea since they wrote weather.com. You can go hit the return and you'll go straight there. So you're avoiding ending up on that Google page, right? You're
Right.
going straight to the place you want to go. Now, if you don't know where you're going to go, say that you want to go. I forgot to give you guys a break since we've had the staggered beginning. I'm sorry. We'll do a break in a second. So let me just finish with you with this, and then we're going to go. Say that you want to actually don't say you really don't know where you're going, right? You really have no idea. You want to go maybe to a restaurant in town. Somebody mention a restaurant in town that you want to go to and you want to find out what time they're open.
Cody's.
Okay, so click in there and write Cody's. I don't even know how it's written. So click in there one time. There you go. Now write the word Cody's. Okay. Now, since we don't know anything about how to get to their website, now we can go down to Google's suggestions and see if Google can help us. And there's Google Cafe, Cody's Cafe, Cody's Goleta, Cody's Restaurant, Santa Barbara. Whichever one you think is the one most possibly the right one, click on that one. Cody's Goleta. Now you are using Google's search to get you there, okay? Because you didn't know their website. So instead of putting .com, .edu, you actually had to put in just the word Cody's, and through Google search, if you look down there it says Cody's Cafe, Goleta Family Restaurant. And actually, if you look at the website address, it says that it would have been www.codyscafesb.com, which you didn't know, but Google search found it for you. So when you don't know the website, you use Google search, right? So now go and click on Cody's Cafe, Google Family Restaurant. Go ahead and click on that down there in the search. Yep, there you go. And that takes you there, okay? So in the future, if you want to go there a lot, you might want to write just codyscafesb.com and then you go there, but it's easier to use Google. But when it's a simple site, for example, sbcc.edu, you don't have to go and have a whole complicated website. So that search, that field in there that says the address, that's the URL address is called the URL. That search bar where you type the URL serves two functions. You can either put the entire website address in there. For example, whatever.com, Amazon.com. That means that you're going all the way directly, right? So go ahead and click in there and write Amazon.com. So click one time. Simple. There you go. And start writing Amazon.com. And it even shows there for you. It's the helpful. If you've already gone there, it helps you find it and hit the return key. And then you're in Amazon. If you don't hit the return key and go to those suggestions, then you first have to go to the Google search, then you end up in Amazon. Okay. So this might seem like for some of you guys, you're like, oh my goodness, I've known this for 20 years. And for some people, they've never known this and they keep not understanding how to use that top bar. So I just wanted to point that out to you.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Let me give you guys, I'm gonna stop your share now. Oh, and now let's say that you're not interested in shopping right now. So go to the top to the, no, don't close the entire thing. Go to the tab that says Amazon.com and click on the little, now the tab, you have 3 tabs open. You have student resources, Mac Intro Level 1 and Amazon. Do you see the 3 tabs?
Right,
Is everyone finding the whole tabs? And hopefully you all went to Amazon and Cody's Cafe. Like hopefully you guys follow through. Okay. Whenever I'm doing something with someone, the idea is everyone does it. Now say that you just want to close Amazon. Where would you go? Yeah. Click on the little X part of it. Perfect. It's closed. And now you're back to the handouts. Now, if you don't need the handouts at all, you can close the handouts as well. And if you don't need the student resources, you can close those too. But the last one is so big that it doesn't look like a tab. It just looks like everything, right? And there you go. And you're done. So then you're left with a page that's got nothing, right? When you close all your tabs. So I want to show everyone how to decide what you want to see on the tab. Now, if you're happy with seeing the cloud mail, that's perfect. But if you want to see something else, you need to go to the Safari preferences. Okay, so it's your choice what you want to see in that start page. So go over to where it says the word Safari on the left side by the apple.
oh, okay.
Click on Safari and choose preferences, which is 2 down. Okay, so everyone please open your Safari preferences. It's a little bit hard to see on yours because it's so dark. You know what? Stay there. I'm going to stop your share and I'm going to share mine because my Safari preferences are
bright.
lighter. Thank you so much for all this time that you were sharing. So I'm still here and I'm going to head over to Safari preferences and let me share just my preferences. Okay, so now I'm sharing my, do you see my Safari preferences window here on top of my Safari?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Do you see those 2? Okay, so when you get to Safari preferences, you have these tabs at the top and over here, let's go to the one that says general. I should probably give you guys, stay on Safari preferences and let's take a break, okay? Because we're gonna start on this, it's 3:45. So let me, let's take a break until 3:55 p.m., so 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my share, but when we come back, we'll start again. I'll mute you all so you can make all the noise you want. Come back in 10 minutes. Okay. Everything I'm showing you right now is Safari. If you don't want to use Safari, you want to use Chrome or Firefox, it's the same. You go to Chrome preferences or Firefox preferences and you find them. We're going to be talking I'm going to take you guys to the iCloud and we're going to start talking about the iCloud when I get back. But I need you guys to take a break first, walk around, wake up, and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Is that a donkey?
On.
Hi guys, I'm back. I've been working on, I've set up my website. I'm setting up my iPad. I'm sorry, I'm testing. I used my whole break to trying to test. Okay. So this kind of works. I'm sharing my. All right, I guess that kind of works. Let me stop my share. I was trying to set up my iPad to see if I can use it tomorrow to teach. And it looks like it's gonna work. The question is if it's gonna, if the Wi-Fi is gonna be strong enough to lead the class. I'll see, but at least it looks like I can share my screen. Okay, so hi everyone, y'all back from break? Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Woo. So I was walking you through the preference settings. I also opened Chrome on the side in case someone wants to know, well, how do you do it on Chrome? But I'll show you just rather quickly the equivalency in Chrome. But that said, as I said, this is a Mac class, and my goal is to have you guys understand the reason why I want you to be using Safari is mainly because of the privacy issues, but plan B, other reasons. So now you're seeing me on two screens, like I'm up there and I'm here. The second one's my iPad. Let's see, there, I'm kind of adapting. That's kind of where I'll have to put it tomorrow. Okay, so the other reason I want you guys to get accustomed to using Safari and then again choose to do it or not is because one of the things I'll be leading you through this particular class has to do with, finding your files, working with your Finder, working on your computer, preferences, yada, yada. But a big part of that is the iCloud. And I know that for some of you guys, the iCloud is still a huge mystery. For others, you're beginning to go, oh, okay, I'm beginning to understand how this works. And for other people, you're just like really comfy with it, in which case push yourself to get out of your comfort zone to use an app that you maybe don't use as much so that you can see the benefits or not of having the entire system of what you use for all your different apps be within the same brand. There's nothing other than the privacy issues. There's nothing wrong with Google Chrome. It's just that privacy issues are a big deal for some people and not for others. But within the whole system, if your phone uses Safari and your pad uses Safari and your computer uses Safari, then it's all within the system. The passwords are all within the same keychain. If you use Safari and if you use your iPhone, which is all Mac, you have passwords in that, and then you use Chrome and you have passwords in that, that's two groups that know your passwords now. So my point is trying to keep it to the least amount of people who are aware of all your stuff, but sorry, that's where, right. That's where it's all up to me to teach and you to choose, because I'm not saying this is what you need to do, this is what you should do. I'm just saying why it's a good idea to use it. So I'm going to share again my screen where I've opened Safari on one side, and then I have the Safari preferences on this side. Sorry, let me take a oh, with a sympathy cough back there. Something stuck. There we go. Okay, so did everyone open their Safari preferences? And if you don't know how I got these, let me show you once again. Let me share my entire screen with you guys, which always everything becomes much smaller, but this is my entire screen. And so here's my Safari window where we were doing all the tabs and whatnot. And here's where I had taught you how to open to see what your operating system was, right? So I said, go to Mac and say about this Mac. So I still have this open. And now I have Safari here. And you might have other things open. And I recommend, like when Rod shared his screen, he had nothing open. That's a great way to be in the class, to have only Zoom open and whatever application you're using with me. Because otherwise, if you have a ton of other things open, it gets really slow and boggy. So I have nothing else open. So if I click here on this Mac Big OS, Mac OS Big Sur up here, or if I click here on the Windows screen, it says Finder. If I click on this, it says Finder. It would be me clicking on Safari for it to say Safari, okay? So it really matters what you're clicking on. So if you have any other window open, like right now I'm clicking over here, I have Google open, I click on Google and so then this switches, you know, like whatever you are clicking on, let me move back out. This changes to that name. So you need to find that which is Safari and then click on Safari and say Safari Preferences. Open up the Safari Preferences, and now just to make this easier to read, I'm going to change my screen to show only those two windows, because then you guys can see this better. There you go. So now I have this one here. Now, if what I'm sharing is too small for you to see it, maybe you have a small window, or some of you, in fact, I think Michelle's still on her phone. You can change how big or small you see my screen. You can go up to where it show where you see that it's saying you are viewing Diana Musacchio's screen. You know that thing that says you're viewing Diana Musacchio's screen. You can go there and then you can change at the very far right where it says more. You can change the percentage in which you see me. Right, so you can change it to a bigger percentage or a smaller percentage. I don't have the same window as you do, so you need to tell me, but I think it says view screen. Can someone tell me right at the far right of where it says you're viewing Diana Musacchio's screen? What does it say at the far right?
View options.
View options. There you go. It says view options. Okay, and when you click on view options, you can choose to see what I am showing at 100%, at 50%, at 150%. So it gets bigger on your screen so that you can see the details of what I'm showing. Does that make sense? What I'm showing you to do? Because I can only share what I have, and it's up to you to change that proportion of how big you view it. And I'm trying to see on the pad what that would look like, and I don't know that there's a view options on the pad, but then again, this is my first time that I open the pad, right? So like zoom on the pad, so I don't really know if there's any view options for the pad. If someone does use the pad all the time and knows if there's a view options, then please tell me. So
Quick question.
yes, Rod?
On my top left, instead of having Safari, I've got Zoom.us is what Zoom keeps overriding
Okay.
Safari up there.
Well, if you now go down to your dock, for example, and click on the icon for Safari again, that'll help you switch.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so when you have, what he's talking about is that up at the top left where the apple, you need to say the name, to see the name of the program that you're trying to get the preferences. And he kept seeing Zoom, because if you're playing around with Zoom view options, you're working with Zoom. You just switch back to Safari, either click on the Safari window, or always this fail-proof one is go down to the dock and click on the icon of the program you want to see, which is what I told them to do, and boom, then you will see by the apple on the top left of your screen, you will see the name of the program. So once you see the word Safari, then you pick up the preferences. Okay, so now I want everyone to give me a clear answer whether you are seeing the preference of Safari. So if you got the preference of Safari in front of you, say yes with the green mark. If you don't have the preference of Safari and you don't know how to get them, say no. And I can give you a hand. Now, while you're doing the yeses or nos, remember everyone has to answer, because if you don't answer, I'll be asking you one by one. Okay, so how can I help you get it? So, right, so please answer whether you've got the Safari parentheses up and running. Cool, thank you, Barb. Thank you, Dorothy. And Michelle, you're on your iPad, and it might be a little bit different, but on your computer that you're using on the side, see if you can get to the Safari preferences. All right. Okay, so here we go. Now, there's a whole bunch of tabs up here. Let me get my color spotlight. There you go. So there's a whole bunch of tabs up here, and depending on which operating system you have, they might look a little bit different. So I'm actually going to share again this little window. So remember I told you that mine says Mac OS Big Sur. So I didn't yet read the surveys because I was working on getting my iPad set up for Zoom for the Wednesday class. So I was going to go check the surveys after class. So just a big shout out. If you have Big Sur, it's not the newest operating system. That's the one I have. The newest operating system could be either Monterey, and I don't know if anyone's already using Ventura. I don't think it's out yet.
No,
But it's not out. Okay, so Monterey, if you're using Monterey, give me, let me actually clear your feedback. So if you're using Monterey, give me a yes. If you're using Big Sur, give me a no or a red dot. I'm using Big Sur, so I would give a red dot, for example. And then if you are using anything older than that, give me raised hand. Okay, so older than that, any word that's not Big Sur or Monterey, give me a
I'm
raised
sorry,
hand.
Diane, if you have Big Sur, what do you want?
A Big Sur is a no, like a red.
Thank you.
No. And it's, as I said, sometimes I use them as yes, no, sometimes I use them just as a, give me red colors for this, green colors for that, which one I'm using. And then if you have anything older than that, raise your hand.
Is
Okay.
Catalina older than Big Sur?
Yes, Catalina is one older than Big Sur.
Okay, so.
And you have a pretty new computer-ish, Yolanda. So you should be able to be using a newer soft operating system. And it depends on, that's, you know, the operating system has to do with how old your computer is. There's a point where it's just can't update anymore, right? So if you have a very old computer, it just cannot go past, for example, Catalina, or it cannot go past Big Sur. My computer's age, you can see here in this little window. Let me share just this little window, which I told you guys how to get it, was how you get this window was by going to the Apple icon and saying about this Mac. And over here it tells you, and mine is pretty old, look at it. It's iMac, it's a Retina K 27-inch, late 2015. We're talking big numbers here. I'm getting to the end of the life for teaching. For real life, it's perfectly fine. My computer works really, really well. But the last upgrade I can do, I can upgrade to Monterey, but I won't be able to upgrade to Ventura. They've said that it's reaching its limit where they won't support it anymore, for example. So I have a laptop that's a 2012. And I cannot go past Catalina with that one, right? So there's a point where okay, this is so old, you know, in the world of computers, this is beyond ancient, it's almost antique, my 2012. But my 2015 is a perfectly good, strong computer as far as I'm concerned. But since you guys keep buying new computers, I can't keep up, right? Because my version doesn't update anymore. I still have another year's worth of it, but after that, I might need to actually think about switching, but only because I teach. My point is you don't have to change. Like there's no need to have the latest and the best. But when you do have the latest, then you have the advantages of whatever the new stuff it is that computers are teaching you. Now, one thing I forgot to say in the survey, I forgot to ask you to tell me what year your computer was. And because if you start asking me, well, can I upgrade or not? I can't tell you unless I know that number. Notice that in the handouts that I have given you, I have a handout. Let me switch back to my handouts. So those are my handouts. I have a handout here where I tells you what's the oldest computer that is able to support your operating system. So let me find that handout. And so here's the list of handouts, okay, of Mac operating systems version history. So this is the handout that you'll find in your Google Drive. I'm opening it up and it tells you when each one came in. So Monterey is the newest one, Big Sur is the one before that, Catalina is the one before that. Okay, so it's only one down, Mojave High Sierra. So in order of appearance, this is the newest ones down. And then over here at the bottom, I always put the information of which Macs can run the latest version. So I only have the Big Sur. I didn't put the Monterey info. Which Macs can run Mac OS 11 Big Sur. And so it tells you over here the time and dates, and see how if it's a MacBook, it's different than if it's a Mac Mini, it's different than if it's an iMac. So depending on your computer or not. So mine is an iMac 2015 and later. So I can still run Big Sur. And in fact, I can still run Monterey. But after that, when they run, I've been told, I haven't checked it yet, but Ventura won't be able to work on a 2015. It'll probably say 2016 or something like that. So you need to keep an eye. And where do you get that number from? Where do you know if your computer is still or is too new or too old? Is from that little place here that tells you the year of your Mac. Okay, so just showing
Quick
you where to
question.
get that information. Yes.
What are your comments about security and having the latest version or older versions?
Well, what happens with older versions is that they at some point stop supporting them. I believe at this point they're still supporting people. They might still be updating the security for up to High Sierra. Now, when I say High Sierra, I mean people who have this operating system. You can have an older system like mine, 2015, and have updated to a new operating system. The operating system, by the way, is that thing which makes the computer run. Without an operating system, your computer is just a pile of glass and metal wires. Operating system is the software that makes it run, okay? So that's what this is. And most of the times, if you have it set up to update automatically, your computer just updates automatically. The problem is that at some point it updates to a system. And if your computer is still old, like mine is a 2015, when it got purchased, it came with El Capitan. Over the years, as the different versions of operating system came out, I kept upgrading the operating system. And we'll talk about that. But at some point, your computer is too old. They can keep making a new one, but the computer starts groaning with the new operating systems because they make them do so much more that your system can't handle it anymore. If you're in that situation, you have to stop updating your OS and just work with an older OS. Now, the reason I told Yolanda that she has a newer computer, she can upgrade it, because I happen to know that she has you have a newer than 2015 computer. I don't remember exactly when, but maybe it's a 2018, 2019. I'm not sure right now, Yolanda. What's that? 2020. Okay, see, the pandemic years passed by in some kind of a fog, and I don't count them. So it's a 2020, and to me, they didn't appear, and they're still 2018. Okay, so it's a 2020. So with a 2020 computer, it's very new. You can easily be in Monterey, and your computer would be working just fine, which means it can take advantage of all the different good stuff of the transferring between a phone and a computer, your computer and iPad and phone, and that kind of thing. And they have more advanced security systems. The original question from Rod was your security. And the point I'm trying to make it is, if you maintain your older operating system in your computer, at some point they send out a message saying, we're not supporting security anymore on the older systems. Because the reason they keep changing is because people learn more and more on how to hack into these guys. So as they add operating systems, they also have higher security for it. And so if you're still using an old OS, at some point they'll say, okay, at this point you're stuck with what you've got. If a new worm or a new virus or a new something comes out and you haven't updated, we can't protect you anymore. Okay, So in that sense, at some point, it's better to keep updating your operating system as long as your computer can handle it. But if your computer happens to be a 2012 laptop, see how none of these can work with 2012. So Catalina, on the other hand, still can work on 2012. So my old laptop, which is a 2012, has Catalina. It's a MacBook Pro. It's one of these, is my old laptop. So it can use 2012, but it can't use Big Sur. Does that make sense how this works? So I'll never be able to update beyond 2012 on my laptop. And at some point, 2-3 years from now, that'll be too old for it to be protected. Now, so that's the only, if there's a good reason to upgrade your computers or not, would be if you're worried about security. Now, when Monterey came out, at this point, it came out a while ago, you shouldn't change. Like Ventura is going to come out. They usually come out in September, October. I think in October, they put out the new operating systems. So say in October, the Ventura is the next one that's coming out. It's called Ventura. When Ventura comes out in November, October, November, you shouldn't upgrade to it. You should wait 2, 3, 6 months, depending on, because at first they're very unstable. At first they're full of bugs, and people who know report all the bugs, they fix. And when it's finally stable, you kind of hear no one's having problems anymore. That's a good time for regular people like us to switch to the next operating system. Does that make sense? So I think you guys should stay between Big Sur and Monterey. And if you have older computers, then as far as your computer can take you before you use, like my laptop, I can't take it higher than Catalina. That's it. But if your computer is newer than that, then you should be in Monterey or Big Sur. Now, I'm still in Big Sur. I have some applications and stuff that weren't going to work in Monterey, so I haven't upgraded yet, but I will. For the fall session, I'll be in Monterey. But most of you guys are probably amongst these two. In fact, only Yolanda, you said you're still in Catalina, right? Is that everyone else answered? No. Barbara, you still have a no, and Julie, you have a no. Oh, no, I had raised hand was for anything older. That's true. And only
Where do you find the year that it was made?
over here on the
About.
on the about. So you go to the Apple icon, and I'm not sharing that. You go to Apple and go to about this Mac. So I can share the whole screen, and that's where you find the year it was made. So now I'm sharing my entire screen with you. And what you need to do is go to the Apple icon about this Mac. And that
I
pulls
did.
this up. Okay, and so here it'll tell you what model
Then
it
I
is.
have overview and display, storage, memory.
Okay,
support, and
overview,
service.
overview. It'll say what operating system you're using, and right here, it'll say how old, it'll say model, whatever it is that
Oh,
you
that
have.
2020. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and
Thanks.
that tells, okay?
You know, I've been waiting to, I'm Big Sur and I've been waiting. I guess I could update it to Monterey now, couldn't I?
Yeah, I use have 2020, yeah, you can certainly have Monterey. Mhm. Now,
I just, don't do it right away. I wait.
yeah, no, that's fine. Now, here's the thing. I highly recommend not to upgrade until you've done a backup. Now, in macOS level 2, for those of you who don't have yet a Time Machine backup, I'll teach you how to do a backup.
I've got Time Machine running, but I've never looked at it.
That's fine. As long as it's running and it's constantly backing up, then it's working. Now, I'll teach you more about Time Machine, as I said, in OS level 2. But
So if I have it running, it would be okay to upgrade? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, so
Okay,
the way to say if it's working, you can open your system preferences and go to Time Machine. Again, if this is something you want to look at later, look at the time right now and say at 4:20, she talked about, and write this down, Time Machine, and then you can come back to this time, right? Go to your Time Machine and see, and I have a couple of different Time Machines going. So look at your Time Machine and see when was the latest update. And if the dates are today, then it's backing up. Like this one here is telling me, ooh, my last update was in May, and there's a little, something's not working. But that's because I'm not using that one anymore. I still have it connected, but I'm using these two, and they both say today. So as long as the latest updates are happening, you're good to go. That means it's working. If you don't
Thank
have
you.
Time Machine set up yet and you're like, no idea what you're talking about, then wait until level 2 class to do anything about upgrading to Monterey. Because the most important thing is that if something goes at all perchance wrong during there's Paul again, who had to leave for a bit, and he's coming back.
Yeah, I've got
Um,
3 hard drives plugged in
mhm.
to my computer.
So the Time Machine only saves, give me a second, I'm all mixed
Well, let's say
up.
I've got 2 external hard drives and Time Machine
Mhm.
plugged into
Yeah, that's
my
good.
Mac.
Be aware when you have external hard drives, which I do, I have like 5 of them. Time Machine only saves what's on your computer. It doesn't save what's on your extra hard drives, but that's okay, because in the sense that when you update your operating system, it's only going to affect what's on your computer. And the reason you want to back up is because if something goes wrong in the upgrade process, you don't lose all your data. Okay. And lately, most of the time upgrades are fine, but one of you guys said that the latest upgrade, something had happened. Now and then things happen to some stuff. So you want to have the backup to be able to fix it. Okay. So right now, I'm not going to have you guys back it up, but just saying, if you think that you can go higher, right, then whatever you're in, combine the date of your computer with the operating system you have and you want to upgrade, then you need to first have a Time Machine backup. If you don't, then in level 2, I will teach you how to do that. Right now, I'm going to share just these 2 again. Sorry, these 2 again. Where every time I share, I have to, this little pencil pops up, it drives me crazy. Okay, so now here's my system, my operating system. Sorry, my system preferences for my Safari. So this is Safari, where I've been showing you all these different things. This is all my Safari application. These are the Safari preferences, which most of you, except for Michelle, had said that you were okay with. Oh, Paul, you just joined us. So open Safari and then go to Safari word preferences. Okay, I think, yeah, you got it. You're there. All right. So what I need you guys to do is the reason I segued also into what operating system you have is because depending on what operating system you have, Safari updates when you update your operating system. Same with Mail. All the programs you're going to learn, they update with the operating system. They're part of the computer. They come with the computer for you. So if you have a much older version of operating system, your preferences might be different. Does that make sense? So if you have a newer one, Monterey, your preference might be different, is a little bit different, set up a little bit different than mine, which is one older, which is Big Sur, or Catalina, which is one older. Now, usually it'll be a slight difference, but if you guys notice a difference, please tell me. Because that's also how I learned, because I don't have Monterey yet. And if you'll show me that you have something different, I'll see that. But anyway, there's general tabs, autofill, passwords. So these are all different, possibilities of things that you want to check. And I'm going to show you a little bit about security and privacy. Now, general, first of all, so let's all make sure you've clicked on general. As you can see, when it tells you what do you want things to open to. So remember how when Rod was opening his Safari, it kept going to the iCloud Mail that he had? That's because when it says new Windows open with, instead of start page, he probably had iCloud Mail set up here. You can choose what you want it to open to, or maybe you want to open always to the news page, or to the stock page if you follow stocks, or to the weather if you're a surfer and want to look all the time. I don't know what you want to check all the time. The weather. Santa Barbara is not a big deal, but I feel that somewhere on the East Coast, they probably check the weather every morning to know what's going to happen out there, right? So go ahead and what you check, what you set here is going to matter. So right now, every time I open a new page, so I go to this tab like I showed you and I open a new page, it's opening at the Apple start page. Why? Because that's what it says here. Opens with start page. See that? So that's, Barb, you were asking at the beginning, how did you get that start page? Well, you set it to open wherever you want. And in this case, I want it to open in the start page, right? So here I chose start page. You could also be choosing when you open a new tab, open a start page. I have it always kind of boringly set to home page, start page, because this is the default setting, but you could have changed it. So maybe I've gone to, let me see, I've gone to sbcc.edu, right? If I did that, and then over here, I would say set to current, see, I'm gonna say set to current page, okay? So if I say set to current page, look what it changed to, right? So when I open my computer, when I turn on my computer, it goes to sbcc.edu. This is what probably Rod has set up. He probably has iCloudMail.com here, right? So when he opens his computer, it goes to iCloud Mail. So you can choose to say, well, you check the news, whatever news you check, bbc.com. You can just put bbc.com, right? And so if bbc.com. So when I open the computer, it'll go straight to that. So you get to choose whatever it is that you want, right? So I'm going to leave it back in the original start page, but you can change that by clicking set to current page and it'll go to whatever page you've got going. Over here, if you open a new window or a new tab, you should probably set it at the same thing. You could tell it start page or home page, or you could have an empty page, right? So that's your choice. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff here that I would want to talk to you about, but right now that's the main thing based on what we've been doing that you can change yourself. If you use that start page, let me go ahead and show you what a start page does and why you would want it or not, your choice, is that in the start page, you would see anything that you have marked as a favorite, which by default, all you have as a favorite is, these are the things that come with the Mac, except for Pipeline. So Pipeline, I'm gonna put it in the back here, see how I can move it around. This came with a Mac. It has as pre-favorited for me because I bought it. It says Apple, Google, Bing, CNN, Yahoo. What's this one? Looks like this might be, oh, this is one that I put in there. Okay, Zoom class recording link. So up to here, they came with the computer. And then these, I started making these as favorites. So when I open at a start page, the things that I go to all the time, as of here, they're my choices. This is not. So like, I never go to Yahoo. I don't need to have it there. If I never go to CNN, I don't need to have it there. If I don't go to Bing, so you get to choose. So say I don't want to go to Yahoo, I can right click and delete it from there. Doesn't mean that Yahoo doesn't work anymore. It's just that I don't have that little link in here anymore. Does that make sense? Say that I go to this one here, and these are the recording links for spring. So I don't need this one anymore, right? So why, I don't need the recording links for spring anymore. So I can just right click and say delete to that one, and it doesn't go there. And instead, when I open up, I can just say, oh, I want to go straight to Pipeline. So I'll click in here and I'll go straight to Pipeline. So I don't have to even go to sbcc.edu, I go straight to Pipeline. So that's one way to use the favorites. Now, say that I do want to add here the homework that we just did, right? Like the recording link. So you guys can go over here. You have all the tabs that we just opened, right? And so here you have, by the way, after you don't use it for like 15 minutes, you need to sign in again, which is why it's kind of good to have it kind of the passwords recorded. So now you can go back to the handouts and you can open the recording link, and then you can make a link to that, for example, or you can make a link here to the shared drive. So how would you do that? Say that you want to be able to access the Mac shared drive handouts, all the handouts, not just the class recording. So you can make this into a favorite, okay? So how would you make that into a favorite? Well, you could go here to this little icon where
I'm
it
not
says,
seeing that.
what are you not seeing?
I wasn't seeing icon.
What, just tell me what you're not seeing.
Okay, what I see is everybody across the top, and then on the left, the general for the system.
You know what? Some people, I've been noticing that most of the people who shared their screen had this tab open here with bookmarks. At least Rod had it. 3 people who shared their screen had this thing opened here, and you might have it open or closed. So I'm not sure. Is that what you're talking about? No. And how I'm
Nope,
clicking it. see this-
Actually, I wasn't even looking at the
Okay, so
Safari
let me
homepage.
actually-
I've got it open now. I was looking at your page.
Oh, mine. Okay.
I'm trying to use one computer today. and
No, that's fine. So let me just show you guys on Safari, on the left side of the top bar, you have a red, a yellow, and a green little circle. Right next to it, you have this little icon, okay? This icon allows you to either see your bookmarks and reading list, or click it again, not see it. So for some of you guys, by seeing it all the time, you're using much less space. Like, oh, for example, Yolanda, when you shared your screen, you were having this list here too of all your bookmarks, and that takes up, gives you less space to look at the internet. So when you first click on it, you see bookmarks or reading list. If I click on bookmarks, here are my bookmarks. As you can see, I have very few bookmarks. This computer that I use for teaching is not the same as my personal access, but I have a lot of bookmarks on my personal one. But over here, you'll see that someone says favorites, right? So I could decide that I want to put this and save this as a favorite. If so, you can right click. No, actually, let me share my entire screen with you. Because if I don't share my entire screen, you can't see what's happening.
Diana, before Barbara asked the question, you were going to share about share
How to make it a
on the
favorite.
right, right there, right there, near the plus sign. What were you going to share? What were you going to show?
Yeah,
us?
I was going to show you how to make something into a favorite, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I went to do this first, but that just helps you add a bookmark, right? So that's what I was about to share right now. But first I wanted to show you where you see your bookmarks. So open this like that, and this is where you see your bookmarks, right? So if you click on the word bookmarks, then here are your bookmarks. Okay, so say you want to bookmark the handouts, right? Say you want to bookmark the handouts. So you need to be seeing that page, right? And then you click on this little, always the arrow pointing upwards is a share symbol. You click on that share symbol and you add bookmark.
Oh,
Click on add bookmark. And then it says add this page to, and then you choose where you want to add it to the favorites or not. And the favorites is this little bit that I was just showing you, right? It's the bookmark, but there's a certain amount that you keep as a favorite. So do you want that? So you can call it like Mac, you can change this long name and call it Mac Handouts, for example, right? And say add, right? And so now I've got here, and you don't need to have this open, it still works, but just so you can see it happening, click on bookmarks, there's the favorites. Now it's possible that your favorites might be collapsed. So there's this little arrow here next to favorites. And so they're all like hiding. And when you open it up, there's your favorites. So some of you have never used your favorites and some of you have, but that's your favorites. So if those are my favorites, then these are other bookmarks, but these are favorites. Then if I now open my start page and want to see, say that I open a new start page, then notice that right now I have under my favorites, I have the ones I had before and a new one. Mac Handouts. By the way, this little bear in the background, I gave it, so yours probably doesn't have that bear in the background. You can make choices like that. So now I have my Mac Handouts there. So now when you open Safari, you open up, yes, you're at your start page and you go straight to, okay, I want to check my mail, or I want to check whatever, or I want to go straight to my handouts. And if you do that, and you're just starting your computer, it'll first ask you to sign in. It'll have you put in your pipeline email and address, and then it'll come straight to the handouts. Does that make sense? Just showing you the point of why you would want to maybe use favorites. Now, I don't know that you need to have a favorites for the Mac Handouts. I'm just giving you as an example, but you might have other stuff that you go see and do all the time. Maybe you shop at Amazon all the time, or maybe you watch movies on Netflix all the time. So whatever it is that you want, you can just put it here in favorites and then take away what you don't want. I need to keep these here because they come with a computer. So I want to keep them as an example for teaching. But say that you choose that you don't want to because you don't want to be checking CNN, for example. You right click on it and delete it. You can go to CNN on your own, but it's not part of your favorites anymore. Or I'm going to do Command or Control Z because that kind of undoes. What if I do want it, but I don't want it as a favorite? I just want it as a bookmark. Over here, I can just grab it and say, sure, I want it, but not, and I can just drag it down. So now I have it as a bookmark, but it's not one of my favorite bookmarks anymore. Okay, so now see, it's gone from favorites, but if I really want it, it's still here in the bookmarks. So you can move something from here and say, no, I want the CNN all the time, and I can put it up here in the favorites. There it appeared. I'm using it because it's bright red and you can see it, or you can grab it and go and just drag it down, and then you don't have it there. And you can have like folders. I have a folder with like 7 different news stations that I check, and I have them all in there. Or you can have a folder with, 7 places you like to shop, or 7 places where maybe you signed into Netflix and you're signed into Amazon Prime Video, and maybe you're signed into Disney Channel or whatever, HBO. You have them all together under something here called entertainment, and you have them handy, right? So you choose whatever you want to go to most up here. And then you have the second thing, which is not what you put in favorites, but what the computer knows that you visit a lot. So frequently visited, look at me, how boring I am. I'm always in Pipeline, SPCC, Pipeline Drive, Google.com, Mail.com, Studio, YouTube, which is where I put my videos. So the computer puts in here those websites that you visit a lot. Does that make sense? So if you've never used Safari, the computer still doesn't know what you use a lot, so there's nothing much there. But if you begin to use it, you should see a quick link to, you shop at Amazon all the time. You should see a link here. You should see an Amazon page here. Okay, so depending what you visit a lot, you would have it here. And then you don't even need to go to your bookmarks. You can collapse your bookmarks. And then you just open up and it just sees you. Now, I don't use this much at all because this is not the computer I do other than teaching. And I haven't taught the Mac classes for about 2 months now. So doesn't have much, but it says in the last 7 days, Safari has prevented 65 trackers from profiling you. I'll tell you now how to set that up here. And that's even when I have not used this much. When I use this a lot, because I'm in the active teaching mode, this number goes up really quickly. So do you guys have anything under privacy report? Do you see
Yes.
something there? Now, this is what the Mac is good at. And I'm going to show you where you do that. Now, I'm sorry, I think someone had their hand up and it looks like the hand went down and I was about to call on them. Was it you, Dorothy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so can you ask me?
Yes, when you are on a website in the URL line, at the far right of that line, there's a little star.
Mhm. Yeah,
Is
you can
another
start
way
that.
to make a favorite, or does that do something else?
If I'm here, I don't see the star that you are talking about.
Well, maybe because it's already in your favorites.
Possibly. Now, what I do see is this plus sign, right?
No,
And
it was on the far right.
on this side,
Yeah. Well, no, in the same line as the URL.
yeah,
if you
I'm
go-
in the URL line.
Okay, so go to something that is not your favorite.
This isn't my favorite. This is my bookmark, but not my favorite. I don't know. Let me open. I don't know. Give me something to go to. I don't know.
CNN.
California Coastal Records Project.
Which one? Say that again.
California Coastal Projects. No, California Coastal Records Project.
Well, that's a good one because I've never gone to that. So
Oh,
watch.
it's fantastic.
Watch for a second. I do not know the website address for this place, right? So I have used this as a search. See that as soon as I put spaces in between and words that look like a sentence, what happens is it needs to be searched. Had I put calcorad.com, because maybe I knew it was that, it wouldn't search, it would go straight there. So this is what I was helping Rod with at the beginning. I do not know this place, so I put keywords, and now I have to do a search.
Website for it is californiacoastline.org.
Yeah, but see, the whole point of search is I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So I use the Google when I don't know, and I now could try to use one of the supports, or I could just hit return and it takes me to Google. And you're right, there it is, californiacoastline.org. Now, once you know it, so anyway, I'll click on this, I'll be there, and now I am seeing a lot of information, right? And there's
Yeah,
the website.
It's not
right?
there, it's down below. It's down below next to your, oh, okay. That's what I saw. I saw the little
What
star.
it is that they're aerial
Below that.
photos.
So wait, Barbara, for a second, because Dorothy is telling me, where are you seeing
Okay.
the start? No, that's different. That's my
They're
start
right there.
page.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
No, that was my start page. When I have a start page, it's starred.
Ah,
It's a little icon, like this CNN is the icon for CNN and has the icon for Google. The start page has a little star. So
Got it.
that's, okay, now I see the star you were looking at. I'm like, that's
yeah,
just my
that's what
start
it
page.
was.
So California coastline.org. Now, there's a couple different things here that I want to show you too, but mainly, if I want to save this now, say that this is something I think is really something I'm going to come to a lot, clearly, for example, Barbara must come to this a lot. So what you can do here is, if you open this up, I believe, and let me see if it's still working. I believe that you can drag this here. I can grab this little tiny icon there. And this is just a rule I like to drag and not go through the whole save as. I can click on this little icon and drag it here and put it in there as a bookmark. See how I just dragged it from that? But I have to drag it from the little icon that comes up there. So that's one way to do it. And now it's in my bookmarks. But if I don't want to do all that, like if I just don't want to do all that, I can just go up to bookmarks, add bookmark, right? So as long as I'm in this page, I can go to bookmark, add bookmark. Some people find that's really easiest, or the one that's easiest of all for me, I like shortcuts. I just go to the keyboard and I do Command D, okay? So I go over here, I go to my keyboard, I hold down the Command key, which is to both sides of the space bar. You see a Command key. And by the way, how you operate a shortcut, you hold down the Command key, like keep it held down, right? And then tap the letter D really quickly. Okay, that's how you operate a shortcut, okay? So I'm going to go Command and then D, and see, add this page too. And it asks me where I want, what do I want to do? And that's my bookmarks.
You can't
And-
see your screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
No.
Oh my God, since when have I not been sharing my screen?
Look, I'm looking at your donkey.
Just now.
Oh,
Doesn't,
it just
20
stopped
seconds.
sharing. Oh, how funny. Okay. All right. So I was worried because sometimes I talk and people don't tell me, and next thing you know, you haven't been seeing it. All right. So I do Command D, and then this says add this page too. I like shortcuts, but if you don't want to memorize shortcuts, to me, this is like automatic. Instead of dragging or all that, add this page too. And if I want to add it here, it'll be to favorites. And I go, well, no, I don't want to add it to favorites. I just want to add it to bookmarks because I'm not going to want it all the time. Or yeah, I check this many times a week. Then yeah, let's add it to favorites. You choose where you want it, right? And then I'll say add. So now if I go to my bookmarks, I have bookmarks here. I have it twice. I have it under favorites because I just put it in favorites. And then earlier when I was showing, I had put it under bookmarks. So I have it twice. Does that make sense? So be careful to duplicate and say that I go, well, I don't want it here. I do want it there. You can just right click and just delete it so you don't have duplicate bookmarks. Anyway, that's just to help you get to places. Just so you know, I've been telling you all this about bookmarks, but I've not explained the reading list. But before I go to reading list, I don't want to spend too much time on reading list. All I want to tell you about reading list is sometimes most people don't have the need. If you're someone who grabs your laptop and takes it out of the house a lot, maybe your iPad, for example, and you're going to be in a place that has no Wi-Fi, but you want to read an article, then you add it to your reading list. And what happens is that the computer downloads it, and that way you can read it even if there's no Wi-Fi. That's what a reading list is.
Oh,
Say that I come to this page and I have an article that I want to read. I go, God, I would really like to read this one, but I know I'm gonna not be able to read it because I'm gonna not be here. So then you add it to the reading list. And that's what that is. And then, because otherwise this wouldn't work if you don't have a connection, right? So you add it to your reading list. Or sometimes people add it more like, hey, let me put this here, I want to read it later. You can just do that. But mainly it's because you want to access it later when you can't be online. That's its utility. You can also have a list of things you want to read someday, and then it gets really big and you never read it. That's fine. But the utility of it is that it downloads it into your computer, and when you're done, you can get rid of it. All right. So basically, the main thing that I showed you when I showed you the start page is down here, the privacy report, right? So how do you control your privacy on your computer? Okay, so let's head over. Let me share again the system preferences. So a lot of what this class is all about, by the way, let me clarify. This class is usually 3 classes: Intro to the Mac, Mac Level 1, Mac Level 2, which sounds weird because Mac Level 1 would seem like it's the intro, but usually it's 3. But now 2 times in a row, the people have scheduling have skipped the intro to the Mac. So I basically only have level 2 and level 3. And that's really not good, because this that I'm teaching right now is usually part of Intro to the Mac, where I teach you how to set up your computer, your preferences, your systems. And in Mac Level 1, I do much more work with files and finding them and organizing the material in your computer. So when I have only 2 to teach, I combine both level Intro to the Mac and level 1, and I go through the stuff that I think is the most salient and most important, right? So anyway, just also what I try to do is teach what I didn't teach last time. Some of you guys take this class again and again, and I have not taught people how to work with Safari in quite a while. So this time I taught you maybe more about Mail or more about Calendar, but not about Safari. So now I'm spending some time in Safari, because those of you who take these repeatedly get kind of to cover all of it. Does that make sense? Because the 3rd class has, I don't know why, hasn't been scheduled. Go ask them. I do ask them and they go, well, I don't know. And they have all these host of reasons. But anyway, so in the general preferences tab, you have many good choices, but one of them over here is security and privacy. Let's head over to the privacy one. So the one thing that you should all turn on is this prevent cross-site tracking. If it's not turned on, please turn it on. Okay.
Somehow I got disconnected on that. How did you get?
Okay, so go back up to the word Safari and say preferences. Now, do you see the word Safari next to the apple? If not, click on the Safari icon in the dock, and then the word Safari will appear right next to your apple on the top left of the screen.
Yeah, and then what?
Once it does that, click on the word Safari, and 3 choices down is the word preferences.
System preferences?
No, Safari. Go to the word Safari.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And then Safari preferences. Now,
thank you.
Please be aware. No. But you know why this is a great question? Because, and this is really important. All applications, no matter what you do, if you're using Photoshop, or if you're using Calendar, or if you're using whatever you're using on the Mac, always the way to modify it for you is by going to the preferences. Rod, your sound is on. Can you mute yourself? We have people talking in the background. Thank you. So go to every single time that you go to any program, the preferences are always under the file name preferences. So if you're in Excel, if you are in the Google Chrome, if you are wherever you are, you'll find it under the preferences. I need someone to mute themselves. I think, Rod, it's you. There's someone talking in the back. Maybe it's not Rod, maybe it's Barbara. Someone was talking. So turn this on. Now, why would you turn this on?
I'm sorry, where do you find that website tracking where you turn on? and off?
Okay, so I'm in the system. I'm in the
General.
Safari preferences. Move
Uh-huh.
over to privacy.
Oh, privacy. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Now, if this is on, and I have shown people last time how, I didn't tell them much about Safari, but I told them how to turn this on. So maybe you took the last class, you have it on already. This allows, so have you ever noticed that if you go to Facebook, suddenly say that you're remodeling your house and you're looking for tiles and lights, and then you go to Facebook and suddenly you see ads for lights and for sinks and stuff like that. How do they know? Or if you told, or if you go to, the news, you're just checking the news, but on the right, you see the ads, and the ads suddenly are all about house remodeling. And I'm just inventing, but say you look for a pair of shoes, next thing you know, I was looking for tennis shoes, like to play tennis, court tennis shoes the other day. Guess what? Now everyone's showing me ads for tennis shoes, right? So when you click on this, you prevent that kind of thing where the sites talk to each other and give each other a lot of information. Now that might not be what you want. Maybe you're fine with the fact that since you're looking for tennis shoes, please show me tennis shoe ads. That is a choice that you have to make, right? If you think this is good or bad. But it also then has information like someone could, if you're someone who's famous or well-known, or someone might want to target you, they could see the kind of things that you're looking. If they're hackers, not everyone, not you, but a hacker could go in and go, oh, this person's going to all of these sites. So this helps prevent cross-site hacking. Now, cross-site tracking. The other thing you could choose to do, but this will hurt the operation of many websites, is to say block all cookies. Now, notice that when I tried to click on it, I got a warning that says, websites may not work if you do this. Are you sure you want to block all cookies? Okay, I'm going to hit cancel on that. A lot of websites will just not work if you block cookies. And what is a cookie? A cookie is when you land on a website, that website doesn't know who you personally are. Like it doesn't know that you are Diana Musacchio who lives in this place or that place. But if your system allows you in your security and in all these other choices in your computer, you've allowed the computer to track your locations, and you've told Facebook how old you are, and you've told another thing, by the time you put different information about yourself in different places, all that gets aggregated and someone can know a lot about you. If you block cookies and you go to your to Amazon, each time you go to Amazon, it'll look like it's a new page. Like it will not know anything about what you like. It will not have any information about you purchased before or anything you've saved. And it'll ask you to unblock if you want to save some of that stuff, for example. Or I download books from the library. I listen to audiobooks. If you block the cookies, each time you need to sign in to everything, it just has no idea if it's me or Yolanda or whatever. If the cookies are on, meaning unblocked, then they track some stuff. And so then they know when I go to Amazon that I don't care about sports cars because I've never once looked at, something about sports cars. So it knows things about you. So you choose whether you want to block cookies or not. And then when you get to a page that you want to see, then you could choose to just unblock the cookies for that page if it won't work. So if you say block all cookies and then say, okay, block all, just know that you're going to start getting websites asking you things like, where do you live? Like if you go to weather right now, it probably knows that you live in Santa Barbara and gives you the weather for Santa Barbara. But if you block the cookies when you go to weather, it won't know if you live in Santa Barbara or in Greenland. And you'll have to always tell it where you live for it to give you the temperature of that place. Does that example give you an idea?
Yeah.
of what the cookies do. And some websites refuse to work without you allowing them to work on their cookies. And then you can choose, well, I don't want to be in this website, or I do. Or you can just open up the cookies for that one website. Okay, so that's your choice here in the teaching purposes. And then this is the other one that really helps your privacy. Allow privacy preserving measurements of ad effectiveness. Again, this is the example of what I said, that you suddenly try to look up for a pair of shoes in Amazon, and next thing you know, Facebook is showing you that site, right? So this is that's called ad effectiveness. So again, it's the kind of information that allows you to preserve some privacy, or not, in that you don't want your information shared. So your choice, and you can look more into these. You can research this on the Apple site. What does it really stop? But it does really not stop. But these are the kind of things that Apple has as on automatically, and that companies like Google are fighting this tremendously. They're fighting it in Supreme Court, whatever. They don't want to stop it, because this is how they make their money. Apple makes their money from selling products, computers and phones. But Google sells their money by having a search engine that works well, because they sell your data to everyone. And so they don't want you to have all these blocking preventions, right? So that's pretty cool. Now, security, now I've moved from privacy to security. You want to click on warn when visiting a fraudulent site. This is important because of so many scams. So make sure this should be on automatically, but if it's not, please leave it on. Whenever it's a site that they can tell is spam, like you got an ad saying, oh, your insurance is about to expire, click on this link, and you go to that link. As much as they can, Google, the company Google, has a way to kind of tell, and tells you that it's not a good site. So it gives you a warning. So those are good ones to have on. Let me see. Those are the main ones. Passwords. So click on passwords, and notice that this is the one that would really give you an idea. I'm not going to unlock it while I'm sharing. So I'm going to actually stop sharing this, because I'm going to put in my password, but I'm going to okay, so now I'm going to do that. It says to unlock passwords, enter the password for this user. So I'm going to enter it. Oh, this is the school ID, because I'm using a school account to teach, and I don't know the password by heart. I think, let me see. Is that it?
Is this the same password you would use to unlock your computer?
Well, depending. Right here, it's asking me to enter the password for the user SPCC ID, because that's the user I'm using, which is it's an account that the school I created with the school, so that I don't always have to be sharing my personal stuff with you guys. When I was started teaching at home, I discovered I was sharing so much of my personal stuff that I created an account that's just for teaching. So in your case, it'll tell you. So if it says use unlock the account for Dorothy Oxner, it's your personal one, then yeah, it could be that same password.
Okay.
Or it could be the password that you set up for something else. So in my case, so now I unlocked it and not sharing this with you. But if you look in there on the left, you should see any passwords that you have reserved. And if you click on, for example, I have the pipeline account in there. I'll click on it, and it shows me, it shows me the username, it shows me the password, and I can go and edit that and change it. So on the top right, and right now I'm clicking on spcc.edu. And when I click on that, I see that it says username and password. And if I hover over the little string of dots, it shows me my password. And if I want to change, you can go to edit that, and you can change it to something else. Now, the way
So
to
you're not-
access this, What's that?
Deanna, you're not sharing your screen right now, is that correct?
no, yeah,
Okay.
because I'm got my
Right,
passwords in
okay,
here.
I thought maybe I missed something, okay.
No, actually, I'm noticing that unless I hover over it, you won't see it. So I guess I can.
Man, I've got a question. when you're
Let me, hold
done.
on. Let me show you where I'm at right now. It's okay to show you this. So I put in my password to get into here, right? So you won't be able to get into here. No one else will get into here unless they know your password, right? So don't share your passwords. And so I've got two things going. Here I have all my passwords, and I see that I have a password for sbcc.edu. And if I hover over these dots, which I'm not going to right now, my password shows, right? Put your mouse over these dots and you'll see your password showing. And that tells you, for you were wondering if your password was right, Julie, or whatever. I'm looking at the SBCC one.
Oh, wow.
That shows you your password. So maybe Sharon, who was wondering, you know, her password does,
didn't know
this would have
that.
been a way to do it, but you already learned it. Y'all, you figured it out, but this is a way to do it. If you want to change it, you can hit edit, and I'm not going to, because when you hit edit, the password shows again, and you can maybe change it that way. I don't know now, but more importantly, look at what it's showing. There's two things you need to turn on if they are not turned on. Way at the bottom here, it says detect compromised passwords, and class will be over in 2 minutes. So you guys can keep exploring some of the stuff on your own. Detect compromised passwords. Your Mac checks and sees if your password has entered a data leak. And remember when Julie shared her screen and put in her password, it said your password has been found in a data leak. Was it with you, Julie? Or was someone else?
Oh, it was
think
me.
it-
I-
Okay.
say-
So what that means is that if you've used that password for many different places, and I do for some things, I don't have new passwords for everything. I have certain very serious passwords for like the bank and stuff like that. Then I have other passwords that, depending on the seriousness, I use for different things. So if one of those places got hacked, the same, when you try to use that password, the computer goes, ooh, this password was so over here. It looks like I have epidemicsound.com, which is something I use for teaching. Its security recommendations is telling me this password has been compromised. And in fact, the other day, this one appeared, the one I use for SPCD appeared. So whenever I use it, it tells me it's been compromised. You should probably change it. So it's warning you that some site that you use this password on has been hacked. So they've not hacked spcc.edu, but since you're using the same password and they're warning you, you should probably change your password here, because wherever it has been hacked, you've used that same password. Does that make sense? So I had one password I used for everything about 2 years ago. I used for everything. It was like the most comfortable. I knew how to, type it really quickly. Well, something got hacked. I don't know what. And that password is on all the unimportant sites. I had used that password. So I had to go in and change my passwords in like 15 different sites because that one place had been hacked. And so I had to go and do it. But this kind of helps you find out where you should go and put in a new password. And right now, it's my SPCC password has been compromised, and I'm really resisting because I type it in so automatically. But I'm going to have to go change it because some place where I use that same password, I use it for all my educational stuff. So I'm going to have to go in, and I have a ton of educational sites that I sign in, and I'm going to have to go change that password. So I'm resisting it. But anyway, it's warning me that, right? So anyway, if you don't have any warnings, then that's good. That means your password is still all safe. If you do have, you should pay attention. You should go to those and then know to change that. Okay, that's interesting. Looks like this one is my is our Southern California Electric. That one has not been compromised. So whatever you use there is fine, but what we use here is compromised. Okay. The next thing you might want to go to is this autofill where, and now it is, class has been over for a minute. So I'll just finish this and then we can move on to other stuff next week. But this is a lot of the security stuff that really matters. You have equivalents to this on Chrome and the settings for Chrome if you guys use Chrome, but equivalents, but not as you have equivalents as to what to fill and that kind of thing, private passwords and stuff. But the whole privacy and security is the starts, it's different. or if you use Firefox, they're pretty good about security too. So anyway, here you can tell your computer if it remembers your credit card or your passwords or yourself. Like when you start filling in a form and it says, should I use your name? Should I use your address? And it already has it, it's because this was checked on. If this was checked off, then each time you need to put in your name, you have to type it in yourself. Each time you need to put in your address, you have to type it in yourself. Does that make sense? You choose whether you want your computer to remember usernames and passwords, all of them or not. If you say this, then it won't ever ask you to remember any. But if you turn this on, then it'll always ask you, should I save this? And you can say yes or no. And if you said no and you did want it saved, you can come in here and edit. And now, so like, for example, Julie, if you did not want your school password to be remembered, you can go here and edit that and now go and say, no, I never really wanted that password to be remembered. Same with credit cards. Now remember, all of this is as safe as that original password that allowed you to get in there, right? So it's as long as you don't share your passwords with anyone, it should stay relatively private. Okay, play around with this stuff a little bit more, but for the most part, like which search engine you're going to use. So keep learning about these to say what it might mean or not mean. For the most part, the ones that matter to me are those, the passwords, the security, and the privacy, to make sure that you know what to do and where to go. And then when you go to websites, this is a whole bunch of things that you can decide that to do yes on some websites and not on others. So like location, you might say, I want you guys to know that you don't need to share your location all the time. So this is under websites, right? But most websites want to know your location. And so I don't care if certain sites want to know my location, but I do care others. I don't want, like, you type in just about anything and they go, you want to share your location? And I'm like, no, I really don't need you to know where I am. So it asks me why, because I have it set on ask, right? Versus if say that you go over here to EDU and say deny, so then it's SPCC website, every time you go to the SPCC website, it will never know where you are. Or it will always, it won't ask you, it'll just check for where you are, okay? So when a website wants to know my address, I want them to ask me. So I have set them on ask. If you never want them to know where you are, say deny. If you want them to always know where you are, say yes, you know, and say allow, and then it'll always know where you are. So that's your choice. I choose ask for those, but it's a personal choice. Screen sharing, by the way, this is where Sharon, you might get away from having to do the screen sharing part. Instead of saying the unlock, you could go here to screen sharing, go to Zoom, and instead of saying ask, oh no, don't say deny. Oh, this is the one that, was it Paul who said that it wasn't even showing the screen sharing? Maybe that's what he did. He said deny, and now he's not being allowed to screen share. No, don't say deny then, forget that. I thought it would give you the question of open. No, you still need to go and open it. So yeah, you're still gonna have to go to privacy and then choose which one to let it open up. All right, guys, sorry, I've gone past my time. Not sorry, meaning when it's the first class, so much happens at the beginning where I'm setting people up and I'm not getting to teach much. So hopefully you got enough. I'm gonna, I hope you guys know how to get to your handouts now, but because it's the first time ever, I will email you the link to today's class. But this is the first time ever. The rest of the times you have to go look for it yourself. I'm not gonna send the link to the class every week, okay? But just so that if you need help knowing how to get to stuff, you'll have the link in the email to today's recording, okay?
Great, thank you.
All right. If you want to stay behind and ask me like things that you think you want to learn or not, let me know. Send me an email, ask me now. just to make sure that we put it into the whole mix. I'm very open to modifying things to make it work.
July 4th. How about July 4th?
Is July
It's
4th?
it's a Monday.
No
July-
class.
No class on July 4th then, but I need to look at the
Okay.
schedule then, because I didn't even notice that. I need to check the schedule and see what's gonna happen.
That's
Where
next
can I
Monday.
go hide?
Okay, so I'll have to look, let me make myself a note to look it up, talk with Emma. Is it, it's,
I know my painting class is not in session next
no,
Monday.
no, the school is closed for sure. That's
Yeah.
not a question. But I didn't know if they accounted for that when they scheduled it. Because if they did account for it, then we still have the right amount of sessions. If they didn't account for it, then I have one less class to teach, and I need to know that to organize what I'm gonna teach you. So I need to check on that. But no, for sure, 4th of July school is closed no matter what. So,
What are those things?
okay, we'll talk about it on Wednesday once I find out. Okay? All right. See you guys on Wednesday.
Deanna, was that your son teaching kids about filmmaking?
You saw that? Yes, he
Yes,
was
I
on
did.
TV. Yes, that
Yes.
was him.
I
Yeah.
want to remember to ask you that.
So funny. Someone else the other day, this week, someone said, hey, I saw your son on TV. I'm like, where? Because we don't have TV. So they said, so we looked it up online, and yeah, we saw it there. That's the film camp he went to, and he was a junior, whatever, a freshman in high
Yeah.
school. And he learned, and then he went another year. And then after that, he started applying and winning prizes and whatever. And now he's gone twice now as a mentor, and he gets to teach. It's really cool to see it turn around. And then I guess the KEYT was there, and they filmed it. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I love his
Yeah.
girls.
Time goes by. Thank you. Yeah, I had, like you just mentioned it. One other person mentioned it. Other than that, I wouldn't have known. So I'm glad.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Great. Thank you. See you
You're
Wednesday.
welcome. Barbara, what's your
I
question?
am really glad to know about how this, where in Safari and under the passwords, I am having to change my passwords constantly because I used to have one for almost everything, but
Yeah.
so there's like triplicates in here, and I'm deleting them. But I think it's a good place I can go to find the password, so I don't have to change it again.
Yeah.
Would
I
you
have to say,
suggest-
there's another place. That's the passwords for anything on Safari. But there's another place on the computer called the Keychain. If you look up the Keychain app, you have to put your computer's password to get in. But in the Keychain app, that's where the passwords go that can open all the other stuff on your computer, not just what's on Safari, including the ones on Safari. So that might be a more overall place to go look.
Well,
So
you know,
look for the
I have
Keychain.
this book,
Yeah.
and it's an older book.
But it
and-
still has a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, except for like, what do you write letters in?
Word.
Not Word, it's got the pen here.
Pages.
In here, in this book,
Pages.
it's text edit. But-
Yeah, because
but-
by then Pages wasn't yet such a big, yeah.
Almost
program.
everything in here. So I could use it to go and double check.
Yeah. For the most part, Keychain hasn't changed overtly
I
in
could, but I
quite a
could look
while.
it up in here.
You can, yeah, you can
Okay.
also look it up in, so I'm looking right now, I've opened my Keychain, which I won't show because it's all passwords, but open up Keychain as an app, go and do a search and open up. And then if you log in, you have different, system root. So there's just different iCloud. So there's different apps. You can use that too. And then the second lock in is passwords. So there's a lot of stuff there too. But yeah, but the Safari passwords should work for a lot of the stuff that you needed. And then you can look at the key, which is much more intense. It's a bit more complicated to understand, but yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff too. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, guys.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, I opened one of those things in Pipeline, and I wanted to print it, and it won't print. Do I have to copy it and put it into or download it or something?
What did you open? The
Well,
pipeline
it-
that didn't print? Oh, like the handouts?
I did, yeah, I
Um,
guess.
Well, from Google Drive to print, your computer has to be set up to read Google Drive. Go ahead
Okay.
and if you want to share your screen so I can see.
I'm not even in there now.
Oh, it should print, but otherwise you can download it and open it up and print it.
I'll
Yeah.
try that then. Thanks,
Okay.
and I'll see you Wednesday.
I'll see you
I
Wednesday.
love your donkey.
Oh, this little guy, yeah. Thank you.
Is it a thing you put candy in and bust?
It's from
Like-
Laos. No, it's from Laos. We were there.
Oh, okay.
It's a puppet.
Oh,
It's an
awesome.
actual theater puppet from the
That's
States.
cool. I have a puppet, a string puppet. The one, you know. and
I mean, it's wooden, and I guess they hold it here, and they pull the strings from up the top. They have one of those
yeah,
crossbars where people know how to.
right.
Make
Oh, it's
puppets
just
fun.
darling. Okay, I'll see you Wednesday. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Let's see, I gotta go.